going live. Let's see, we're going to do this. Share screen.
Dream boy of the new apocalypse. Hail unto Isis, goddess of 1,000 names. As you stand before me, holding forth a foaming cup of wine, you are my grace and my conscience. I, O Pan, wild old friend, your ancient pipes led me to the hidden gate of Malkuth. Wine and strange drugs. I crept into the temple of the Virgin and stole a glimpse of what lies behind her veil. I beheld terror, madness, and wild exhilaration. Nothing is gained by nothing. Tied to the rack of addiction, I perfected ways of escape and soared untrammeled through the diamond sky, screeching with joy as I dive bomb like a Stuka. The dream boy of the new apocalypse, coming in foaming white arcs, tumbling through time, the terrible centuries. From Azaluth, I see visions of the coming gods. I see time set below me as a vast rushing river. It does not end. It joins the great stormy sea, where dwell creatures for whom I have no name.
Shalom, shalom. Please in the chat, let me know if you can hear me. Hello, hello. Yeah, so that was fun. That was an original composition I made to a poem spoken by Seyroth the Mage for the upcoming We the Hallowed audio sigil. I thought it'd be fun to sequence it with some 1920s film stuff. Hopefully everything's working. You can hear me okay. And I'll probably play it again later because I'm so into it. So into the collaboration aspects of what the We the Hallowed audio sigil is turning into. You know, a lot of people submitted tracks, and at first I was writing tethers and compositions to kind of bind all of the songs, and I had a revelation last month when I laid it all out in sequence that, you know, it sounded more of like a roll call, like, okay, and, you know, Derek Hunter's track or and Sayros track. So I was like, well, you know, let's do it in the true spirit of collaboration. So I composed things to other people's music, and that was a taste. Yes, Jonocide. I know. I still got to get to that. Jonocide sent me some lyrics, and I made a little country tune to it. I still have to record. But without further ado, welcome to the Outcast cast. For those that are more privy to hang out underneath the bleachers than on top of. And if you're watching this, it's probably because you care about as much as the Super Bowl as I do. And with me, joining me today, I am very pleased to announce my better half, the light of my life, Miss Mary June. What's up, Miss Mary June?
You know, if you can't beat them, join them, right?
Yeah.
There's nowhere to hide, so.
I love Jonocide, Jill. Oh, Alchemical Arts. Jeremy, how you doing? Jeremy, you remind me, I still forgot to post the really cool advert you did using one of my songs, which was a total honor. I still got to upload that somewhere. Jonocide asks, Mary, how was your birthday?
Oh, how was my birthday?
Mm-hmm.
It's still going strong. Started with some Thin Mints hidden under my pillow and He knows me well. Yeah, it was great. No complaints. Thanks for asking, guys.
Yeah, we had a day off of tech, basically off of social media, and being tethered to a phone. We went out to the mountains and shot some photography, took pictures of her and her 32-year-old new face, and that was pretty lovely. But yeah, I wanted to extend the invite. If anyone is interested in joining this is an open discussion. We're all just kind of hanging. I don't know. I had a need to stream. It's like a need for speed. Need to stream today, and yeah, so this will be pretty loosey goosey, but I'm sure it'll be epic in all of its undertowed forms. So if you want, please DM me on Twitter at PRAGMAGICK_cast if you'd like to join our little Zoom session. Otherwise, we're just going to be freewheeling and dealing. I wanted to talk to Mary a little bit. This is funny because this is the first time we've actually shared like a live stream. She's in the other room.
I
to, like,
know.
not
We're
have
echoing
echo.
each other. It's like, it's going to be interesting.
But Mary's been, she's been teaching outdoor education. And so she's been having to do it on Zoom. And she's gotten so good at it. And I was just wondering, Mary, like, what's it feel like to kind of transpose being in the wilderness to teaching kids on a computer?
Transpose teaching from wilderness. It's kind of stupid is my immediate, when you teach with your whole body and soul, it's very hard to then just veer in a little people and, do the hands-on thing. So luckily, I think the charisma is still there, but it's been interesting. I'd say it's taken the full year to get it down.
And you don't have to wear pants, right?
And if I remember to not stand up during class, it's pretty awesome. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that would cost a little more money from the children.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure.
true. Yeah.
So Mary has heard me, yawn on about really heavy metaphysical concepts day in and day out. And I've never had like the pleasure of really talking with her publicly about, your views on, spirituality and a lot of the woo that we dip into. I think you're a very pragmatic witch, if I may.
I think that's a correct
Yeah.
statement. All right, we're like getting into under the bleachers talk. I thought we were gonna like, warm up a little.
We're freewheeling here.
Freewheeling. What was the question?
It was just, yeah, like I've always wanted to start a little podcast with you as like the person where I can get really deep in the clouds with crap. Yeah. You always ground me. And yeah, it's just funny that that relationship of, me being kind of like 6 feet off the ground with crap and you always being like, stop using those words. I don't understand you. Like, what's happening?
I'm like, okay, so where's the proof? Also, I've worn out the pages of the dictionary from trying to keep up with you. But no, I think we should actually do you expose me to things that I'm like, oh yeah, Star Wars. And then we talk about all of the things I've been living in a hole while the world is passing me by. I think that'd be an interesting
yeah, the big like fad of people reacting to films like Star Wars or something for the first time. We screwed that up because I showed Mary the original trilogy for the first time this past year. That was the first time she's ever watched it. And I was like, oh, why don't we film that?
It's almost better that we don't when you start going down the rabbit hole of, reaction videos. Although I was bummed we didn't do The Mandalorian, because my God, I don't think I've ever cried about anything as serious in my life.
Yeah, well, the funny thing is we got most of the trilogy, some of the prequels, I think,
Yeah.
before you started Mandalorian. But man, that Baby Yoda tugged you hard.
It got me. It's who'd have thought? I'm like, all
Yeah.
my tabs open are like Baby Yoda dolls, like crocheted Yoda hats. I'm like,
Yeah.
so yeah, that did a number on me.
Well, Ali in the comments, brings up a big point. There's a lot of spiritual wisdom in Star Wars, and I agree. I think for when I was a youth, it meant a lot to me, learning about, Mask of a Thousand Faces, like Joseph Campbell stuff, and like, the hero's journey and the archetypes. And, for better or for worse, it's pretty like layman when you watch Star Wars, like all of those points they try to get across. So it meant a lot to me as a youth. I'm not sure how much you picked up on, or it was basically just kind of, redundant by the time you saw it, the whole good versus evil hero's journey thing.
Yeah. When
Yeah.
I'm around your family, I realize how much it was embedded in your childhood.
Yeah.
And there was no mention of Star Wars in my family. So it's very interesting to then go around your dinner table. And I have to be like, oh God, please don't hate me. I don't know. Like, what is it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how we all related, was through media and folklore. Whereas you're the adverse, where you related through like common connection and interpersonal dynamics.
And like riding my bicycle or
Yeah.
whatever it was. Yeah,
But yeah.
that's funny. That's different for sure.
I'm gonna check Twitter real quick to see if anyone
7 when the
wanted to
first
get
Star
in.
Wars movie came out.
Who said that?
Genocide was 7.
Yeah. That's crazy. You know what I just found out? Today was The Replacements broke up the year I was born. That's like crazy to think about. That's a band that I really enjoyed in my youth, but it's funny that I never had known them. I would have never have known them as a band. You know what I mean? They broke up right when I was born. It's really interesting to think about how like these artifacts of media affect you and what you internalize. And you weren't even in the same like living sphere as them when they were around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the same. What are some of your formative ones musically?
I'm sorry, what?
Your formative musical archetypes musically.
Formative
I
musical
know, I should dumb it down.
archetypes. Hold on, here's where I need to break it down word for word. What are you asking me again?
What? Yeah, like who were the ones that you were really drawn to when you were younger? Because I don't know if anybody knows, but Mary is a fucking phenomenal songwriter and musician, and so yeah.
Ooh, okay, say more.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one that comes to mind is Joni Mitchell was definitely hanging out with me through my formative years, then opening up that whole realm of God, I live with you, and I'm like, my ability to retain musical information and facts is like so bad. I should just yell at you in the other room. Laurel Canyon, that's what I'm thinking of.
Sure.
All the folks that hung out in that world.
Birds and Graham Parsons and
Yeah, because my dad raised me in more of I think the folky realm of things when I'm looking through his record collection that I inherited. It's a lot of Crosby, Stills, Nash, Joni Mitchell.
yeah. Your dad's a
That
fantastic
world.
player too.
When he's so modest. What is it about? What is it about the act, like the talented ones that are the most, modest.
Yeah.
And then you get him
The
to
good
sit
ones.
down and like when no one's paying attention and he's strumming his, guitar and you're like, what the hell, Justin? Like, who are you?
Yeah.
That about sums up
Well, I
my
know recently,
exposure to
like,
that.
we've really tethered on a lot. What I love about our relationship is that it's like a constant unearthing of cool, like, pivotal art between us. I think one of the big things when we first started dating was like our love of PJ Harvey, and you know even going back to our like young routes of Elliott Smith, or just like the lo-fi
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Like, it's funny to unearth those now, and I think maybe because I was talking with CW about this idea of the 20-year nostalgia loop. How every 20 years, like, there's something in the popular media zeitgeist that kind of gets recycled. And I think
Mm-hmm.
about that with me. And I started high school 20 years ago. And like what I was into then, like, I'm definitely resurfacing now, you know, like all of the Kurt Cobain Out Pesticide box set, Wipers, like all of those bands, the Melvins, like all of that stuff is coming back kind of full throttle for me. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. And I'm just constantly, I feel both blessed but also bummed that to be exposed and still learning about people like PJ Harvey in my 30s. I'm
Yeah.
like, where was she in for me in high school? I don't know why. I think I was just at the beach or just like doing something else. But so I'm both like awed and constantly so grateful that I get to have those aha moments in my 30s. But I think about you a lot, and I can't always relate to what that is like in those years, having those influences.
Mm.
And I know they played such a pivotal role for you. And I wonder, I wonder about what that's like a lot,
I
honestly.
guess, it must be said too, like, your family dynamics, you come from a huge family, your parents are still together, like everyone gets along, it's great and stuff. And I think for me, uh hopping around a lot and through, you know, my mother remarrying multiple times or moving different places, like I really just sought out music and media. That's like what grounded me. You know what I mean? So it was almost
Yeah.
like a necessity, I think, back then. But I joke because, I used to have to steal records from the local pawn shop. Like, I got caught once. I got caught once with the Beavis and Butthead Do America CD in my pants.
That's the
Uh,
perfect place to find it.
but like and the whole ritual was you'd
I,
just go through music and you'd read the liner notes. And if you liked the band, you would see the bands they thanked in the liner notes, and then you would go steal those records. So it was like a huge thing to me. It's funny now that it's just all at our fingertips.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Allie. That was I should have gotten caught by Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good. Actually, it's funny you bring that up because I was a friend of mine in Long Beach just put out a record. Her name's Angela Jane. I told you about her, and
Mhm.
she tried to open up a conversation about, I guess, accessibility and how hard it is to get the word out these days of new music and get people to not just want to stream but actually pay for the CD on Bandcamp or throw down the $7 or whatever it is. And it was an interesting conversation that kind of unlocked that like need for fast entertainment
Yeah.
these days. And it drives me crazy that I'm like, where's the thirst? Like people like you who want to dive in so deep that they want to know everything about the artist. They want to know what that artist is listening to. They want to own every record that artist ever did. And my first thought was, obviously the oversaturation of just
Yeah.
both how much talent and how much trash at the same time is both out there, that we don't have people pioneering much anymore. Like a lot of the sounds have been done, but also
Yeah.
those pioneers of music that blew people away, they were also very accessible to the mass public, in my opinion. That it was both this like, holy crap, the Beatles or whoever, but also they were very listenable at the same time.
Yeah, they were ordained by gatekeepers, right? It was like
Right.
only a select few got to get through because of, record execs and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my thing is too, it's like I'm still obsessed with long form like media. Like I like making albums, and no one can sit through an album anymore. Like no one has the patience,
Mm-hmm.
to sit through an album. Everybody's like singles, or it's got to be this bombastic, crazy, media drop of, yeah, just some song, and it's almost like they seed it for singles, and then or for the record, and then the record's just the greatest hits of the singles they released
Mm-hmm.
now. So yeah, it could be like just a general attention deficit, I think, with media and how we're just so bombarded, like I talk often to people, everyone's like, oh, modern music sucks. I'm like, well, you're just not looking hard enough. Like there's fantastic modern music, but unfortunately the stuff that moves to the surface is always going to be by committee,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have the patience and the guts for that. I just have the same, 5 band, like old school bands on rotation, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm good.
I
So
I've
yeah.
certainly plateaued a bit. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Yeah.
definitely in the years where I'm rediscovering things that were pivotal for me that maybe I didn't, listen to for a while. Like I'm rehashing, you know, uh, albums and in music and stuff instead of, well, what I do for a living. So I'm very, or for one of my jobs, I'm
Exactly.
very in tune with modern music, and I've got a little notepad
Yeah.
going of the good things I listen to,
I know some good
uh,
things have come out of that, actually.
but it's like 2%,
Yeah.
of all of the stuff.
So wait, I'm curious, hey, Alchemical Arts, so about the barrier to entry to make art is so much lower,
Yeah,
meaning it's
the
anyone can do
production.
it because we can just record a thing
Yeah.
on our phone and put it on
Yep.
our Instagram,
Well,
and we're all
I,
musicians or
I mean, look at the advent of
artists.
like Fruity Loops, and
It's
Tractor and all that stuff. Like anyone can DJ now, anyone can produce music, through just computer algorithm, you know, fine tuning and stuff. Like
right.
it, and that I think that's what muddies the waters the most. Is not only is recording music and producing music super easy, but it's also incredibly easy to release anything. There's there's an app I got for the last album I tried for a distribution thing. It's called a Muse, and you can literally just upload your album and it'll put it in stores. You know what I mean? So like you can be on iTunes and Spotify and all that stuff through an app.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like it's
interesting.
it's
Is
it's
that
that
what you
easy.
used? You're saying?
I tried it so I took off uh 10 Dakota Slim albums from all the stores because I wanted people to hear the last one first, and I
That's
was
right.
paying like so much money a year to keep them in stores. And then I found that app, and it's like, well, you don't even have to pay anything. They just take a cut for the downloads or whatever. It's ridiculous.
I'm wondering, is it so I know we do it because we're going to do it anyway, right? As artists, we're going to create whether we put it out there or people listen or not. I'm trying to be strategic for once I finally put something out, if I want to actually just make it free or if I want to make people have to work for it a little bit. Because how
Yeah.
valuable is it for me to just have a bunch of people, like, that's probably not that many people listen in the first place, but then the people that really want it, like when you want to go see a movie before it's out, you're going to pay the $15 or else wait 2 months when it's free. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make
It's
sense?
the weird culture is now is that when you release things, it's streamable. So people always test it before they buy it. And there's a hope that if they like it, they'll purchase it. But then again, with the advent of, mobile data, like
Yeah,
why buy an album when you can just stream the Bandcamp wherever you're at? You know what I mean?
exactly.
So yeah, it's just so weird. I don't know. I I'm definitely leaning more towards physical media and, you know, creating things more tangible uh with, print media and stuff like that. To me, that those are the relics that are truly deserving of people's money. And that's I think that's the kind of last vestige for, creator types that don't want to just spill their crap on the internet. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
But, this is coming from a dude who spilled his crap on the internet,
God, it
time and
sounds
time
messy.
again. I know, gross. Sorry.
You've cleaned up a little bit. I have noticed that
It's
when you go to search Dakota Slim on YouTube, for example, it's your new stuff comes up.
Yeah. And that was the tactical effort because it was just so muddied, and after years and years of putting music out under it, like I wanted to ordain people hearing the new stuff first, so I just deleted a bunch of albums off of stores and stuff, but you can still find them on Bandcamp, and there's
Yeah.
I to be honest, Mary, I don't know if there's a right way. Like I'm still figuring it out. I'm still caught in the construct of creating, and then once it's done, it's dead to me.
I
You know?
know.
So, but I think finding other avenues of like media, whether it's like print media or small press or any of that, I think that really breathes life into it, and I think that's, to me, it makes it more tangible. I'd rather not just get shit lost in the digital ether.
Yeah.
Continue.
I get that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just like drop CDs down from the sky. Like maybe we'll like inflate helium balloons, kind of like Last Man Standing, or no, Last Man on Earth, but instead of poopy
Instead of
diapers just
yeah.
floating away, we'll attach CDs and then just see where they end up in the hands
I love
of
it.
some lucky, I don't know,
I love that. Did I tell
environmentalist
you?
or something.
There is on Reddit, someone posted about a Dakota Slim record that they found in the middle of the street. And they're like, does
Someone
anybody
listened to
know
it
if
and was
this
like,
is
fuck this.
well,
Tossed
yeah,
it out their window.
probably. Yeah, probably someone I played music with. But it was just funny seeing that Reddit, and they were like, I just found this. It's like it was in a digipack, and I had like a little what do you call it? The instant photos. Starts with the P.
We got this.
Yeah, the well, I included these little like artifacts with them, and this dude just found it in the middle of the street and was like, "Wow, this is really cool." Polaroid, thank you,
Polaroid.
thank you. And added these like artistic Polaroids to him, like a limited run, and he found it in the middle of the street and was like, "This is really cool. Like, what is this? Who is this?"
That's kind of the best way I would hope someone to discover your music.
Yeah, just imagine that helium boom.
Yeah, I know. That's interesting.
How's the chat going? Navier, good to see you.
There's all kinds
Jill,
of fun people in here.
Kalibus, am I pronouncing that right? Kalibus. Kalibos. Spooky dookie. Spooky, you said you were working on a video today? Tell us more. Again, if anyone wants to join, this open discussion
about all things not Super Bowl related.
Right.
I can't believe I even said the beep.
We're gonna get
related.
demonetized. No, I was kidding. I love it, of course, like the Super Bowl's happening, and then here's this little like couple on YouTube talking about the state of music.
It's like, why can't we have a little bit of that beep beep money?
Yeah, exactly. Your family isn't big footballers, sports ball? I guess Alex is.
Yeah. The typical ones are, oh geez, Zaro.
Uh,
He's
what's he doing?
just hanging out on the lab dropping
Oh, there he
stuff.
is.
Yeah, he's being a good boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Zara. You saw his nose. But yeah, you guys didn't really grow up in a huge sport.
I mean, yes and no. You know, it's hard to say. I enjoyed playing sports far more than watching sports, I think.
Yes, I'm far more a participator than I am a observer when it comes to that stuff. Played
I think I
roller
always
hockey and soccer.
wanted to be a part of that. Like when the Lakers were on their streak, I was
Mm,
like, yeah, the Lakers. And then I'm like, what am I like? Why am I? What's happening? Like,
yeah, it was formative when I was a kid. It was like really better. I was, in Phoenix at the time in the Suns and Bulls thing. And I know that's not football. Don't kill me. Chat. The different sports ball. But like, in hockey, it was the Avalanche and Red Wings. Like that's all very formative of me. Remembering like how big those rivalries were. Ali R, oh my gosh, I was just thinking about the blue avians and why even though I love aliens and interdimensional beings, I never tread into the starseed community. Ali, I wonder that too.
what do we miss? Big
What's the
Seahawks
Corey
fan.
Good thing? I miss the Corey Good thing. I mean, that name we shall not name.
I don't know who that
Yeah,
is.
genocide, like we share the wrestling thing, and I have to be honest, this is another 20-year nostalgia loop. Pro wrestling has been big with me again this past year, and it was huge for me when I was in middle school, and been really enjoying it. Like I kind of cried a little watching the last Undertaker um performance at was it the boneyard, or forget what the thing is. I'm really bad with remembering all this stuff, but seeing Undertaker out of character, like it's really sweet. Like I love these guys, are so cool. They're just big teddy bears. I really enjoy it.
Wait, what did we just watch that blew my mind? The actor that, like, what the fuck happened to that
David
actor?
Arquette. Yeah.
Yes.
You can't kill David Arquette.
Yeah,
that's a great documentary. But yeah, he always wanted to prove himself, because back in the WCW days, he took the title and everyone hated him. They're like, who's this pretty boy actor stealing it? And that scene in there's a scene in the documentary where he's like 50 something and he's trying to get back into it, and he goes into a backyard wrestling, and they're like, we're gonna make you want this and fuck with you hard.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's so hard to watch, but he's such a trooper. I was very impressed by David Arquette. But it was bullshit back then, genocide. Yes. I agree.
The scene with him on ketamine was crazy. Wait, when was he on ketamine?
Yeah, I remember that he did the like therapy, and he was just like,
oh, they injected it, which is, I didn't know that was a type of therapy.
Yeah, ketamine's actually pretty famous now in celebrity circles. I know there's some comedians who use it. It's all in that realm of psychoactive microdosing and for therapeutic uses. They were even talking about for a time, it seemed like it petered out, but MDMA for couples counseling
yeah
starting to be a thing.
But I don't think they debriefed that scene that Spooky's talking about. It was just kind of like he went all ape shit, and then it was like, and then moving on. So I don't really know what he what that did for him or did not do for him.
It's supposed to be like a consistent thing. You don't just take it once.
Yeah.
It's like small, but it seemed like, I don't know, from all the other
Like
ketamine.
genetic mutation shit, man. I'm like, dude, they're like breeding mutants up in here. Like,
yeah.
just fucking injecting party drugs. Like, they'll get one combination right, and then
It got gnarly.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Yogi, come on in. Let's see. Oops. Hopefully Yogi will join here. I'm gonna send an invite. Thanks everyone for showing up. I feel good. I feel like this was a call to arms for all the outcasts today. So
will you tell me
appreciate
more
everyone
about
watching.
your idea behind what's under the bleachers? Like, do you have personal experience with hanging out under the bleachers at football games
It's
in
more
high
of
school
a,
and stuff?
so I was in journalism when I was younger, and I remember there were like assignments to do games, and I wouldn't watch them, but I would, like, smoke drugs under the bleachers, or like,
Yeah.
make out with people. Like, it was just like anything other than watch the game.
What are you talking about? I'm the only
And
person,
you
the
are.
first person you've ever made out with,
Sure.
and the
It was
only one.
It was the ghost of you. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. But
Meanwhile, I'm like in band, like what's that smell?
yeah.
Like,
But to
like,
me,
I
it's
wish I
like,
could be under the bleachers.
it's like a perfect analogy for the kids that weren't, sports minded. It was like all the hanky panky and weird crap that went under, quote unquote, the bleachers, So it just made sense. Smooching and poking smot, as Navier says.
Yeah, and vodka and Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that sounds rough.
Oh, I was such an asshole in high school. Whew. Here's that 20-year nostalgia loop. I feel it again.
I don't even think you could access the bleachers at my high school. It was pretty on lockdown.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the bad kids hung out.
Yeah, I also remember when I was really young, like at parks, like that's where people's older brothers would sell weed,
Yeah.
And you had more people like paying attention to other things. It was like the perfect crime, at the little league game, getting nugs at the little league game.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Una, hey, it's good to see you. I actually was thinking about, so earlier in the show I played the compilation I did, or the collaboration I did with Sayroth, and I was actually thinking about playing our work in progress, Una, later. Obviously it's not finished yet, but I think it's fun to share these things, on the internet, because the internet is forever. So I kid. But hey, Steven, good to see you, buddy. Yeah,
we're talking about
literally
really deep,
yeah,
super important things.
We've weaved through music, modern, production of music, drug dealing, whatever else. But yeah, I think I sent the link to Yogi, and he might join. If anyone is into it, this is an open discussion. Leave your platitudes at the door. Only ratitudes need apply. So, but yeah, I figured we could also, I'm not worried about copyright or anything on here. If we wanted to share media or like look at things, we can do that too. There's a part of me, Mary, that wants to share a Tobe song.
All right, so it sucks because I don't want to like crap all over like myself and you and like everyone else, but like when thinking about how to make it in that world, it's like, it's interesting. It's like, because he has the hustle, but he has also created, like he's on such a mission that is like his journey. in life. And there's something about that behind a person's, motive that
Yeah.
it's like unstoppable. And
A
so,
cosmic
so,
gusto.
so you
Yeah.
see somebody like that who's making like actual change and like pushing a new movement in hip hop music. And I go, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, oh, sure. Like, yeah, I'm a musician. But I'm just like, fuck me. And I'm not shitting on myself. I know I'm great. Okay. Like whatever. But do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like,
I do. I feel it.
why am I doing this if I'm not trying to, like, if I'm not breaking boundaries or like creating a movement that people want to get on board?
Hmm.
And I don't
Yeah.
want to have to beg people to like listen to my stuff and buy my stuff. I'm just not interested.
Yeah. I mean, we have to understand though, his oeuvre and everything, like that was a gradual step. I think if you create music with those intentions, you kind of lose the humanity about it.
Yeah.
It's got to be something that's, casual and grows parallel instead of like, I'm going to start a movement with my music kind of
Actually,
thing.
he has straight up said that. Like
Ah,
I'll correct you on that, in that there's a interview, and it actually surfaced in one of his songs. He plays the interview of him talking about that. He's like, no offense to no local jokers out there, but I'm trying to be like global, is what he says. Like he is like, I'm trying to create a movement, because if anyone's ever listened to his music, like there's obviously something deeper going on in his songs. And so he flat out committed to once a week, every Sunday, and they call it Twisted Sundays. They're going to put out a new song and probably a video to go with that song.
yeah, the work ethic is like
Yeah,
on.
it's and that's all, and he's all about the ethic as well. So it's not being necessarily handed to him. You're right, it is a process. But so yeah, but I guess it comes down to, I don't know what it comes down to.
Well, I don't know. Maybe should we
Yeah.
play something and see what people think about
Well, that
it?
would be fun.
Um,
Would CW approve? I don't know. Didn't you
oh,
send something to
I think
CW?
I think I actually did tag CW with one of his songs. And I was like, bah, no new music, my ass. Obviously, like it's in the form of hip hop, so there's going to be a lot of tethers to what came before. But music isn't all about just like musical influences. It's about
Yeah.
it's some mind and like the movements of like poetry and who we are. Like you can do different things with all of these archetypes that have come before. I mean, hip hop in and of itself is like a monolith, you know.
Yeah.
But did you have one that you want? Because I have to use the restroom, so we can play one real quick.
Yeah, I know, you first, right?
Right. And the gimmies. Yeah.
It's
Let's
like
see.
there's so many good ones. Oh, but it should probably be because they have like
The
their
new
dope
one.
videos that go
Yeah,
with it, but then
that's what I
also
wanted
like
to
the
play.
live versions. No, we should do like a kind of a OG. I think like the song Caged Birds, that's a good one.
Okay.
We could try that.
I got it. Featuring Nell. But I want to do more of like the he's got this like religious aesthetic too that I wanted to showcase. You know
What
what
do
I
you
mean?
mean?
Like robes and everyone wearing the same
Oh, because
color.
this the early days, they were matching clothes, but they hadn't gone into like, let's make our own wardrobe and like
Yeah.
be in. Oh, okay, I
What
got
was
you.
that 60s-esque one you showed me the other night? With like the
We're gonna check it out.
oh my god, there's so many. So he does one every Sunday. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
The
that's what
work
I'm
ethic.
saying. Oh, and he's actually so during this summer with the protests and the movement in that aspect, he kind of came hitting with like a few songs that that had some recognition from, like, oh, I don't know what I'm thinking, but anyway, he's like, I appreciate him because he moves with the times so well that it's crazy. Well, I don't know. Dead air. Blah, 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 blah.
Cool Whip. That's what he says. He's just going to rub one out. Yes, I'm gonna go pinch a dick loaf real quick. I don't know what that is. It's like a mixture. Well, here, what's the last one you sent me with like the
here we go.
She had a guest and it was like very 60s, like visually, like with 8mm.
Gotcha. Oh, yeah. It's kind of a long one though. Is that, we don't have to like,
it's okay.
Play the whole
Cut
thing.
it short. I'm not worried about copyright today. We're all just hanging and shit, just sharing cool stuff. I know V in private chats is like, hey, share some music, share some weird stuff. So I thought this would be a cool one because this is like so left field in the best way.
Okay, so you're thinking the like one of the more recent ones that I just showed you. Was it the one that
it's the Tunda?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's Tunda. Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah,
this is only like the beginning for people if they really want to get into this guy.
It's just, it's a good answer for this whole idea of, is there something new happening, in music? And I think with all the elements combined, like he's really exciting. Like whether you like hip hop or not, I think there's something for everyone that's like metaphysical in a way about it. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. And then
it's a good little break so we can each take turns using the loo and then we'll be back.
The Pulu. All right. Actually, let me. Yeah, I'm going to actually. And I'm a mute.
Yeah.
Look, though I am not fixated on riches, please don't get it twisted. I could get vicious about the paper. Take even a tidbit or niblet out of my skillet, and I'll provide you a ticket to visit your creator. My little mini-me's can't eat a favor. My sweat and toil ain't for the love of labor. I live by the principle, love your neighbor, but I keep some lead to draw that put cylinder holes in papers. Oh, I pray that evil don't rise against me. I pray you demons don't try to tempt me. It ain't no comparing them. Every bar I spit pure as the seraphim, screaming holy to represent me. Oh, this ain't for the coochie poppers or booty droppers who make they bum drum like unruly choppers. Tis for the mademoiselles with the heater full of shells that'll let them hosts prevail and raise hell to bring heaven on earth. Some blessings are cursed. With haters I had Levions burst while running through holes. My Jada had to break my will to change a young heathen's trajectory. What's left of me is pistols and principles both protecting me. Secondly, my girl light but pray heavily. Knocked her up on a cruise, word to Penelope. 3 females at my crib carried my legacy, so it's 3 Ks on my compound like white supremacy. Ooh, yeah, that's high-key a word. If your skin tone is black, then you high-key deserve compensation. Yeah, widely dispersed across your turf onto every seed you birth. If you concur, then say ooh, yeah, that's high-key a word. Since my skin tone is black, then I high-key deserve compensation. Yeah, widely dispersed across my turf onto every seed I birth. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
This young nail on the beats in the bars though. Clean as bar soap, black as charcoal, tar roads and cigar smoke with every bar spoke from my lips. Hope your eyelids allow your iris to see the flow is one with Isaac, Jacob and Abraham daddy. Come get your cake up but don't take up all the space in the valley. You good for mountaintops as well. It's countless attacks from hell on those mounted on the back of the counselor who counted heads on your high fade, low fade, no fade, box braids, crochets, can't really think of more ways to reassure you. They'll abhor you in public but secretly adore you. Cause your aura couture no matter who ignore you or who pay attention. Listen, you can bet your pension you was born to glisten till the day you lay in stiff and pine. I know all skin folk ain't my kinfolk, but the ones who are and ain't got no heart, wish I could dig inside and give you mine. Cause it's hard as hell for those out here that's melanated. That's why my brother clapped for me like I just graduated. Do your research, don't just get your baby vaccinated. These demons want you acclimated and evacuated. Ooh, but if you understand, you shouldn't do no stressing. I believe in God, my squad, and my Smith and Wesson. If you try to touch my husband's son or my brethren, you'll have an arm over your head like you just asked a question.
Ooh, yeah, that's high key a word. If your skin tone is black, then you high key deserve compensation. Yeah, widely dispersed across your turf onto every seed you birth. If you concur, then say ooh, yeah, that's high key a word. Since my skin tone is black, then I high key deserve compensation. Yeah, widely dispersed across my turf onto every seed I birth. Ooh, ooh,
ooh. Good morning, sunshine. Welcome to reality. I tried to wake you, but you were sleeping so peacefully in your fallacy. Quite casually, I got 7 uncolonized names to explain my gallantry. I'm a galaxy, but for short, you can call me your majesty. Some of y'all new blacks act so surprised. So 2020 took all them cataracts off your eyes. Now you got perfect vision, see clearly through the disguise. No need for pantomimes or alibis. The revolution is televised. This the year of discernment. Popping off, we burn it. Now you gon' pay everything you owe. The Lil Riley said, cause I earned it. Perm tips with the new growth. Breaking out of that loose hole with the truth glow. Shining like new money.
Weren't expecting that, now were you? The funny thing is, here's the tether. I think Tobe used to be an NFL player before he got the calling to do music. So there's our Super Bowl tether. You're welcome. This stream means something now. Oh, Grim Steak. Oh, man. Yeah, Grim, come on in. This is a free discussion. It's me and Mary just talking trash, having pee breaks on camera. If you want to come on, though, I will send you a Zoom link. Same with anyone else if they're down. You and Lady Aboshi should come on, Grim. Let's see. Messages. Grim. But yeah, this is our anti Super Bowl for the Outcasts, the Outsiders, the under the bleachers instead of over the bleachers. I never really prepared those sentiments on paper, so they don't sound as cool as they once did. Yet here we are. But yeah, so it's Mary and I just hanging. I'm so I DM'd Grim. I'm so stoked. I think Grim Steak's gonna join us. What else was I gonna do? Oh, I talked to Una. So I have an idea. So we can go from that, and then I'll play maybe something original that hasn't been released yet. This is a track I made to score one of Una's audio sigil submissions. And so I thought it'd be cool if we can just play something original after that. I always feel weird playing other people's music on my stream, but then again, I don't have 1,000 subscribers. I ain't worried about copyright, especially when I get DMCA struck for my own music. So screw 'em. Let's figure out a cool thing to sequence this with while Grim gets all up in this. Let's see. What are some good visuals, chat? So one of the fun things I've been doing is playing my original compositions with like some weird visual artifacts on the internet. Obviously, it would be the internet because that's where we are. But I opened the show with just some like 1920s found footage kind of thing. Let's do something weird. All right, let's do. Oh yeah, I know what to do. No, it's for Una, so it's got to be like atmosphere footage satellite. Okay, let's try this. And Grim, if you join in, you're here. Woo! It's the Grim Steak. Mr. Grim Steak.
Oh, what's up, Keats?
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. I'm glad to see that you also don't watch the Super Bowl.
No. I mean, the most that I've seen is James was posting like pictures of the halftime show that was going on. He was posting that in the chats, which it just looked like just a crazy ritual like it is every year.
Oh yeah, it's a dark rite.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty cool. But no,
What are you and Eboshi doing today?
not much of anything. I worked today. We got fucking hit with like a surprise blizzard where it just came out of nowhere. It's like 4 or 5 inches that dropped in the middle of the day, but so made a sloppy ride home. Other than that, not much.
Right.
Some
Hey, Grim.
What's up?
This is Mary.
Mary.
Hey, what's up?
Hello, nice to meet you. I've heard so much about you. Yeah, this is great.
Agreed. I know. I only get to overhear Keith's side of the story when you guys are streaming. So.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh
That's
man!
cool.
And last night, not last night, last Tuesday, that show, Grim. I got some scowls in the morning for that one.
I don't even remember what happened.
We did the Patreon.
yeah, we
Not
did do
about
that.
anything you were saying. I just had to work in the morning, and I'm like, who gave this
Yeah.
guy the weed pen, man? Because
I don't know. Like I was on with Jiggy the other night too, and like decided to smoke pot on stream with Jiggy because how can you turn down Jiggy, right?
It's
Like,
perfect.
you gotta spark a doob. Dude's gotta spark a doob. But like I don't know where this is coming from. Where it's just like if I'm, I went through a whole dry month, and a lot of it was because like, oh, I gotta stop drinking and streaming too. Smoke some weed on stream.
Yeah, why not? I'm a strong believer in you shouldn't be sober on stream. You have your most genuine self come out. Just put it out there.
I think it depends. I think cruising with steak is like just a fun ass way to like.
It's like
hang
being in
out.
high school and you're just going to your friend's house and everybody's getting fucked up and you're just getting fucked up sitting on the couch.
It's almost weird to do that show sober for sure. But yeah, it was fun. I had to message you after the Patreon thing, just like laughing in all caps. It got so funny and out of control.
Yeah.
And James is just like, he's my favorite.
Oh,
dude.
James is just screaming. There's a point where like James hits a point of drunk where he'll just completely keep yelling and talking and having his own show, and like while everybody else, it gets too chaotic. Too chaotic.
It is too much in the best way, though.
Yeah.
I saw Lady Eboshi bouncing around in the background. To please tell her I say hi.
I will. Yeah, I'm not sure where she bounced off to, but when she comes back, I will. Man, we got full fucking she's been getting into Twitch streaming now, doing a little bit of that, messing around, playing some games on there. So
that was funny. I was just talking to somebody today. I think it might have been Yogi, because like I set up a Twitch but never done it. I'm not really a gamer, which I think would be even funnier if I just started Twitch streaming me.
Like if you have any kind of crafts or anything,
over.
Yeah, you could.
If you do it, we're done. I can't lose you to any more.
Streaming outlets.
The internet's gonna take your soul, Keats.
It's true. That's why here I am. I'm like, you know what? If we want to hang out, I'm gonna join you now.
That's me, Lady Eboshi. She does Show and Dump with us. Like it's great. It's great having just coming together on the mic. It's a different dynamic.
Yeah, Grim and Lady Eboshi Mary have a cool podcast. Like it's all about anime.
Oh, it's amazing. It's all about anime.
Ooh.
And Mary and I were talking about like if we wanted, like I want her as like a sub podcast, like bringing me down from all the crazy shit I talk about in PRAGMAGICK, and just having her go, stop.
She be the Scully to your Mulder. Exactly. Is what has to happen.
Exactly. Just stop. I don't understand you. Back up. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I think that would be a good role for me. I could do that.
It's
you need a good ground. Otherwise, you get lost in the woo. You can get way too lost in the woo.
She's also my soundboard for like everything. Especially in writing. If like Mary, who's a very talented and intelligent person, thinks what she's reading is too above her, then
above
I'm a
me.
pretentious asshole. Like perfect
I'm
editor.
just a good like a good middle ground here. Like if I can't understand it, because I probably already had to reread it like 3 times, then
it's just like it's like music. Yeah. It's just like music. I spent most of my time working with drummers, telling them not to do drum fills. Like, just be simple.
Exactly.
You know, it's the same with like words. Like, you don't need to
Keep it
use this
simple.
$5 word. You
Mhm.
know, at this
True.
point. So
Just
yeah.
getting a purpose across. It doesn't have to be all fancy. Although I feel like the English language, and I butcher the English language. It's degrading horribly over the years. It is, and I'm a major culprit of that. Like there's no words are just
Have
improper.
you guys ever sweared like you use like a really big word and think you've been using it right the whole time?
Well, that's most of my adult life is finding out things like that. Just like, oh shit.
No. Like, and then I'm an artist, so like I meant what I said.
It was planned.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was planned. You know, it's lyrical. I meant it metaphorical. You didn't catch my irony by using this word completely wrong. No, I'm kidding. But sometimes it's weird. I have a memory like that too, especially with oration and speaking, you know, like this with people off the cuff. Like, I'll funnel words out where even it comes out of my mouth and I'm like, am I even sure what the fuck that
Yeah.
means? Like, why am I even saying that?
It is. There's certain like sayings that I feel like we've just heard through media or something that just it sounds right to say it. Like I don't remember there's a couple examples that my brain can't come up with, but I know that this happened on Cruising with Steak a couple times. Or Flavortown's like, what the hell did you just say? And we had to Google it and like look it up on the show to make sure I was using it right. Yeah,
I love that. Look it up on the show.
yeah,
Yeah.
on the show. Absolutely. I mean it's
Actually,
such
yeah, I've noticed you probably just need someone like this is a bad example, but like Joe Rogan's cast where he just has somebody there like
oh, young Jamie.
ready
Yeah.
to
Everybody
ready-
needs the
yeah,
young
yeah, yeah.
Jamie to look everything up for them at all times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
I feel like that I have that young Jamie power though. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like, because no one wants to be Toe Rogan. You know what I mean?
Oh, Rogan, man.
Toe Rogan.
I
Wow.
haven't listened to his show since he went to Spotify. I kind of
Not
forgot his show
these
existed.
days.
I was like, I
That
just
is-
Yeah.
forgot it was completely there. I just
Yeah,
remember.
that's a common thing. You know, I
Because
think
everyone-
everyone forgot.
It's just
Yeah.
gone.
I think it was his move to Austin that did it. Something about
Yeah,
that whole
yeah.
journey for him brought it into like
Yeah, things got weird.
got weird. Yeah.
I adore it because he's like single-handedly ruining Texas. Like, he's literally bringing
Yeah.
LA. I mean, Austin was already, you know, kind of a progressive Portland-esque part of Texas, you know, in the sea that is red. But he's literally bringing celebrity, highfalutin, millionaire culture, you know, to like this little odd music city, you know, and everyone's moving out there.
Yeah.
Like I just saw that like Tom Segura is moving out there, like Tim Dillon, like all of these comedians and stuff are moving out there. And I'm just like, man, I love it. He just like completely
Destroy it. It's just
ruining- yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and what even is Austin? It was probably like a blue island in a Red Sea or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's gonna be that much different, but like there's nothing weird about millionaires.
Mm.
They ain't odd. Except if you're Howard Hughes. Spooky sent me a weird meme.
Weird memes.
Weird memes. Where did you send it, Spooky? Discord? Oh goodness. Shall we? Okay. Yeah, we probably should. All right, give me 1 second. Let's see. Courtesy of Spooky Dookie.
Oh damn, Skyrim in DC.
Oh, is this video games?
Oh shit.
Hello.
Wow.
Wait,
That was
what's
beyond creepy.
happening?
That was
I don't even
Skyrim. That was Skyrim in Washington D.C. with Biden at the monument. That was fucking. Have you guys ever played Skyrim?
No, I know of it.
Elder Scrolls Sky. Oh man, it's a great game. But yes, Spooky, that was great. I appreciate that.
Spooky's so worth it. You had me at hello. I wanted to watch. more. If anything, like Grim brings the memes. There's just something about Grim. He brings the memes. It's like I don't know, Mary, if I've ever showed you the Cruising with Steak Discord, but it's just
you should never look at that. No human being should ever look at that Discord. It's not a thing that should be observed. If yeah,
I gotta give Mary credit though. Like she's got.
Ask you what Discord is?
Like
let's.
Beautiful.
So I use it for all my freelancing gigs. It's basically like just another social media message board program. That was probably the worst way of describing it.
Did you let me see. It's just like just chat rooms. It's chat.
It's basically, but you can have like specific chat rooms for different. I sound like a fucking boomer.
Okay. No. I've seen it up on your computer. Yeah, I know what it looks like now. I got you. It always chimes in, like notifies you when I'm trying to teach a class. I'm like,
that's the one.
Like make it.
That's
all these weird.
one.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. But it's spooky. I got to give credit to Spooky. She's always sending me shit that has me on the floor laughing. She's the one that introduced me to the "you'll get your damn rent after you fix my fucking door," or whatever, the Spider-Man 3 one.
Oh man.
I love how quickly this devolved into meme culture. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry about that.
What's up with Shonen Dump? Like I feel like it's gotten bigger and bigger.
It's attempting to. It's trying.
Yeah.
We've
it's awesome.
There's a lot of people that like anime out there. So it's starting. We actually started a Discord channel for Shonen Dump separately. After we found out, like I was putting the Cruising with Steak Discord in our description, and then I realized like we had a couple people that joined specifically for Shonen Dump, and then they probably saw like the insane ironic Trump and QAnon stuff and everything going on in there, and they just didn't. They were like, okay, this is what is going on here.
Yeah, so, emphasis on ironic.
Yeah, so it's like, oh man, I was like, I guess if you just suddenly come in here and you don't know the deep lore of Cruising with Steak, it's gonna look like we're a bunch of crazy alt-right maniacs.
Yeah,
it's gonna come off like that.
I gotta hand it to Mary because like she's got a great like sense of humor about that stuff. And I was mentioning, your woes in the past about, the use of the word gay or whatever, and like how much shit you've gotten, but like it's obviously you're making fun of the that use of it. You know what I mean?
I don't know. I've said gay since forever, so I don't think I've never used it in any sort of term other than
like pejorative.
You're being fucking gay right now. Like that's the way I've always intended it.
Yeah, it's just interesting to think about. Like, it brings me back to this idea. I mean, Cruising with Steak is like a perfect example of just like who gives a shit. People just speak their mind.
Nobody gets offended because getting offended is a choice. Like if you just decide like, oh, I'm just not gonna let this shit piss me off, that doesn't matter. The world would be a much better place.
Yeah, and then there's I see other YouTube shows and everything that are very drama based. And kind of like mining those issues over and over again. Yeah. There's just a weird parallel to that. Like one doesn't give a fuck. The other one, absolutely gives a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't know.
Very weird.
I'm thinking about it.
Well, yeah, there's whole people that built career on bitching about like the cancel culture movement and SJW movement and everything going on, and people who have also built a career on vice versa, bitching about the Proud Boys alt-right movement. Like it's such a black and white, and then people pick sides and shit on the other side, and then you get your followers, and it's crazy. There's definitely teams. It's a crazy thing to watch.
Didn't Cruising with Steak, like that started within like America, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you've probably been really privy to a lot of the dramatastic conspiratorial stuff. Yeah, it's all over YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, and not really, but sort of. Like I don't know. Yeah. YouTube was never really something I got into. Like we've never posted on YouTube. I mean, other than being on, Jerry puts it on YouTube, but other than like you your show, Keats, or anywhere else, like I mean, YouTube's just kind of, I don't know. I never really
Yeah,
too much.
I had to learn how to just kind of use it for stuff like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a live streaming thing, but I learned the hard way this past year, like a big crash course about YouTube communities and YouTube and
Oh yeah,
yeah.
there's a lot of demons out there. There's a lot of demons
It's
that
all
just wanna,
demons.
yeah, exactly. What's up, Yogi?
Hey
How
Yogi.
you doing, Grimsteak?
Great.
How
I've
you
only
doing,
seen you in
Mary?
Discord.
Mary, right?
What's up? Yeah.
How you doing, Keith?
Good man. Have you met Mary before?
Not in this virtual exchange.
Or any other for that matter?
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think so. I've seen you though. On the show
exactly.
with Keith.
I know
And,
your voice,
Grimsteak,
that's for
knows-
sure.
Everybody knows Grimsteak.
Oh man, that's I don't
Everybody
know.
knows Grimsteak. I didn't even know that Yogi knew Cruising with Steak when I first
Yeah, I
met
think
Yogi.
Yogi's in our Discord. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I sent him the
Yes.
link.
Yep.
Yeah.
Recently joined, and I missed out last week. It's like, okay, so I'm so terrible with scheduling of all kinds, and then so suddenly 3 episodes of Cruising with Steak popped up, and I'm like, what the?
Yeah,
How did I miss those?
Don't worry, it's probably 6 hours that you probably would have just wasted anyways.
Are you kidding me? I couldn't make it through the first episode without going, oh shit, I gotta go back and check this out again. And I have another story to tell you about that in a minute. But so how come? When does it come on? When can I catch it live?
Oh man, it's
Tuesday.
live every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on cwsradio.live.
You might find a
Ooh.
Keats acting a fool.
Yes, he makes appearances.
Rare Blue Moon.
Second
Yeah.
hour. It's an open door. It's an open door concept there. You know, you want to come hang out, shoot the shit. Cruise with
Yeah.
Tuesday.
I will
9
have to
p.m.
say,
Yeah.
John aside in the chat says there are angels too, and absolutely angels on YouTube. I mean, this is part and parcel of why YouTube is so cool. The people that are in the chat and people that have stuck with it and everything. I'm just saying that there's been it's a weird forum.
Oh yeah. Well, you have the extremes. You have the
yeah.
extremes of the best people and the worst people. Like there's it's because everybody just shows their incredible base true nature online. They don't give a shit. They'll just put it all out there.
I mean, I hope so.
Yeah, I mean that's how
like-
it could be.
That's
Like,
what I
be
care
yourself.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like maybe you've been too forward
Yeah, so
about
it's like
shit.
if somebody might be like a little bit of a scumbag, they're gonna be a huge scumbag online.
They're not gonna
Yeah.
hold back to that scum.
No, they won't hold back. They're gonna embrace their shittiness, their demons. That's what the internet is. It's fucking just exposes everybody. Projects.
Oh, and like in this past year, it was just like a huge sigil charge of like interpersonal dynamics within the internet. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like we were all just kind of existing together communally. Like it was a huge crash course, I think, for everybody.
It was a
But
really
for me. Yeah.
It was a strange thing because like when we started Cruising with Steak, we've been using Zoom for 3 years now at this point. So it's like once everybody started using Zoom, it's like wait a minute, we've been doing this for forever already.
OG Zoomers.
Yeah, it's all these stealing our stuff.
It does,
What's the
Una.
platform?
That the Bauhaus background, Yogi.
You noticed. Awesome.
Oh, Una called it out. I was thinking it was the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
I can't
Yeah,
remember
but-
the album name though. I was just thinking of that right before I came on. I was like, oh, spaced it.
Yeah. Good eye, Una.
Good eye. I think David J might have I know what it was though. It was like it's like an old picture of like some volcanic action or something like that, and they put it on the wall apparently and like sliced it up, and then like just I don't know. Apparently they just put it up when they were recording whatever album this is, and they thought, oh, that's pretty neat art, and they left it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't pick up on it actually.
Yeah, me too.
Well, if it's Bauhaus 11 Rockets related or Beastie Boys related, I'm sure I'll pick it up.
Nice. Well, Yogi had a good little stream today. I dug what you were doing with kind of like the bibliomancy and like flipping through stuff because you found some shit that really interested me. I don't know how like intentionally, obviously, but he was flipping through some books and read about like the 1989 Great Santa Fe flood, which is like part of the book I'm writing. I was like, where are you getting, like, what book are you reading? Like where did this come from?
Right.
So that was neat. I like
What
that
was
little
that?
exercise.
What is your connection with that again?
Oh, it's a book I've been writing for a while. It's about a person in the late 1800s that dies in that deluge. in that arroyo flood and then battles through the different bardos of the afterlife. But it's like not time specific except for the history of when it starts, and then it jumps around. But I just thought it was funny. Like you brought it up, it's such a like niche, weird little thing that I have like written in this like writer's Bible that you brought
that
up.
always is with me. That I go into the bibliomancy thing a lot, and it just kind of turns up and drops me in a rabbit hole, and I just get lost. But there's always a connection. And last time there was that connection with you too, with that Wentworth Keats thing that I mentioned. I'm not sure if you got that email.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, Uda. Burning from the inside.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Oh, sure. Well, what's everyone got? I mean, is everyone just hanging out? Are we doing this?
I'm
Like
about to pack
this is what it is, right?
Pack this ball.
Do it. Do it, Grim.
Yeah, I don't think we're weird enough for being under the bleachers. Like
That's true.
you and me, Keats, we're just like
I mean, we have weed stickles.
There's a whole superb owl tonight. There's the ritual going on. There's a lot of energy in the air right now.
Good energy in the
Dark
gym.
right. I had read somewhere too, which is funny. I don't know why. I just had like a yearning to kind of stream. I think it's just maybe it's that 20-year nostalgia loop of me like hating football. But like I was
pointless.
like, I'm a little under the weather, but you know, maybe we'll do something weird.
Well,
what was I gonna say? Oh, and then I heard somebody say that on YouTube, like all the views go up, like on Super Bowl weekend for some reason. I think it's because people are looking for other things other than the Super Bowl.
For sure, they are.
It's like really interesting to me that you know, this platform that usually does terribly, like in January and stuff, because of the Super Bowl, almost against the Super Bowl, it does really well, you know. But it's also like because of the commercials and stuff they release. And
that is true. It's a lot of people that. Well, there you go. That explains it right there. It's everybody googling the commercials or tweeting the commercials.
And see how you like how I worked through that in real time.
You made it to the end. We figured out. We came up with the question. We're like, wow, that's crazy. Oh wait, no, that's the answer.
Yeah. No one's looking up SNL skits. I'll tell you that much.
That's still a thing. SNL is still going on.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately.
Actually, even though it's Sunday. Hey, may I ask, Mary? So, what is your coffee method that you use? I heard you have a special coffee method.
Oh, I mean, special to Keats, maybe, but
no, the fancy pour over one. You have like your whole.
Oh, well, I prefer pour over, but it's like the Kalita filters, you know, like the stainless steel carafe.
Oh, okay.
And the little thing, and then the coffee and the thing. But I used to weigh everything and like make sure that temperature is right. And now I'm just like, fuck that, you know. I'm like,
I put the K cup in the machine and then let it fucking go.
I'm not that convenient, but if company's over, I'll get extra fancy.
Put it in me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but nowadays it's just like, can I just get it in as fast as possible?
Yeah, just give me the
How do you clean the stainless steel cone? Because I've got one. It's kind of goldish. It's pretty sweet, but it's starting to get cloggy.
That's a great question. Because I don't quite think I've had this one long enough to, I'm starting to ponder that same thing. So I don't know what to tell you. I'm like, maybe they're just supposed to get that nice coffee patina on it. And like, you're not supposed to ever really clean it, you know, is my thought.
I can tell you that I soaked it in hydrogen peroxide. That wasn't the thing to do because it discolored it a bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm not that fancy. Whatever Keats was telling you is. I know I'm fancy to him, but it's also this weird thing when you're in a routine. Then he'll try to make coffee, and then it's like, and then he like doesn't do it right, you know. So it's like, I gotta just accept. Yeah.
Gripsteak, what about you? Do you make coffee a certain way?
No, just a little bit of sugar, a little bit of cream. I don't drink it black.
Just whatever flavor the K-Cup has or whatever?
Yeah, like just I like dark. The dark roast is good. But
You guys ever drink like butter coffee?
no, I have heard about that though. Put some butter in your
Yeah.
coffee.
Look, yeah, it was butter, and then it was that specific, like the MCT oil,
That's it.
or coconut oil. But what they did was like refined the
butter.
coconut oil. Yeah, so that's that mixture so that you never have the crash, like the high spike and then the crash
Really?
with the coffee. But I don't think I experimented long enough to really know if it
I think
if it made a difference.
I think I broke my body from just like previous like stimulant and Adderall abuse and then nonstop because
Nothing works.
And then like when I was on opiates, I would just be drinking like 20-ounce Red Bulls, 4 to 5 of them a day, just trying to stay awake from nodding off. Like so, it's like, at this point, coffee is more just so I don't get a migraine. Like I don't actually feel an energy boost or anything from it. It just kind of keeps me regular.
It's one of those, if I don't have it, like it's shitty for me. But if I do have it, it doesn't work.
No, I don't say yes. I know that's Keats. I'm exactly the same.
But yeah, I get you. I was thinking about that the other day too, because when I was a few years ago, when I was like really investigating mental health stuff, and I was being prescribed this and that, and I was diagnosed this and that, like the whole Adderall thing scared the crap out of me.
Yeah.
Like, and I was thinking, like, how, as creators, how are people competing with these super soldiers?
You can't. That's what I'm saying. Like that. This is what stemmed that entire like the Reddit GameStop thing. It's all these kids have been weaponized, fucking just autistic, Adderall ridden, just hyper focused online. And it's like you can't fight these kids. They're gonna.
Yeah, I was prescribed it for atypical autism and ADHD.
Yeah, I mean they basically, if you're like a little fucking hyperactive, the teachers will just prescribe it. Like you're going, it's insane. Like my ex's son he got put on it like in like second grade. Like they wanted to put him on it. Like it's insane. Like they're just kids.
Well, I mean, who knows?
It's basically synthetic meth. Like it's what they're putting them on. It's
also the ability to abuse it was like astronomical, But like, yeah, I'm not disagreeing
it's
that
awesome.
I don't need it.
Hyper focused.
Or
it's amazing.
I mean? Or yeah, I don't know. Like I'm still kind of against some of the diagnoses that I had. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's been a whole scrambled mess, and then I intentionally stopped medication pretty much like when Mary and I started dating, which hey, there's something to be said. Like I didn't need it if I still got her, kind of thing,
I think we were running on those butterflies in the beginning.
Those are amazing. God, that's some of the
best. It was like, I don't need drugs.
That's exactly
this is the best high ever.
That's when I met Lady Eboshi. It was just like that. It was like a fucking it was like I feel like I'm on fucking drugs right now. Like it's just insane. And it's like I never felt that about anybody.
Oh, and like the
here
like a focus too about caring and nurturing. This
What
thing.
is caring?
Like, yeah, caring. Way to disrupt the flow.
Do that.
I'm just kidding. That's funny.
Yeah, Keats, I don't think I had any idea of I didn't have any idea of your history with that. And so I was just like, no, this dude's like a superhero. Like, fuck you. So
yeah, what's funny too is I was off of all of that stuff, so I should have been a subhuman during that time.
That's what I mean.
But yeah, there was always a stigma. I was always worried. Part of the reason why I'm really proud of our courtship and everything was that it wasn't influenced by anything like that. Like that was brass tacks. That was like the ineffable me. You know what I mean?
That's cool.
At the same time, like it felt, that shit always peaks up, and it's a continual, stress and thing that I need to investigate and like keep working on. But yeah, I always felt weird being like, hey, by the way, I got a lot of issues.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like you should be more forgiving with me these days when I'm taken by surprise. I'm like, what do you mean? You were flying for 2
I
years
know.
before.
I kind of bit
I
myself
was
in
like,
the
there's
ass
something
with that.
wrong with you? What?
I bit myself in the ass with that because like you're used to me at my best.
Yeah.
And so when I'm not
Yeah.
my best, you're like, what the fuck's the matter with? No, I'm just kidding.
Man.
I kid. But like, it's a huge part of why, what I'm doing with the podcast and like what I want to do with YouTube and what we were talking about earlier about being honest and open about this shit. Like it's insanely revealing and vulnerable to talk about this sort of stuff, but at the same time, like it's like I'm done denying how formative it is. And there's a part of me that used to compartmentalize that person that had those struggles as somebody else, shit even went by a different name. You know what I mean? And like, now it's like, well, no, I got here for a certain reason. We need to like get all of those ethics and tethers and stuff and, give it credence. Otherwise, yeah, it's like, shit'll hit the fan and then what? You know what I mean? Like what's the plan? So. Oh yeah, Doge. Stonks.
Dude, Doge is the biggest scam that ever it's going on because
I thought that was just a meme.
It is.
Dogecoin?
It's a meme coin. The whole thing with Doge is it's not a real thing. There's an infinite amount, and there's people out there that hold insanely large bags that are pushing like this to get, and they're just gonna dump it. They're just gonna dump it all on these kids. But what's happening is there was actual threats against, the hedge funds and stock markets. Like they were doing actual shit with the GameStop stuff, actually manipulating markets. And now all of a sudden Elon Musk and all these people are memeing Dogecoins. It's like they're like, okay, go play with your play money. Like you can't play with us anymore. Like, and that's all that's in the news now. So it's like they just psyop everybody away from the stock markets onto this fucking bullshit meme coin. That's
not all the money in the world could make Elon Musk cool.
No, he's an incredible psyop. And they blew his fucking rocket up because he was pushing the GameStop shit. And they're like, yeah, you think that's funny? How about your fucking rocket lands nice? And then boom, shit blew up. and then all of a sudden, he's like, hey, Dogecoin, how about you guys buy Dogecoin?
I mean, I give him credit for, I guess, the ability. Like,
I'm sorry, Barry.
From PayPal.
No, that rocket did blow up this week, didn't it?
It did.
I accidentally came across that news. I'm like, what the fuck?
Because
I didn't hear that until you just mentioned it. Interesting.
Yeah, because he had a launch that went on this week, and it landed. It was like, and his last like dozen were successful. Like he was good to go, and then this one blows up.
Oh,
after he's pushing GameStop.
I googled explosion because I needed an effect for one of my classes, and that was the first thing that came up when you Googled explosion.
We got synchronicity.
Mom, I googled murder.
Wasn't it the anniversary of the Challenger event like recently?
86, wasn't it?
Sure.
I swear I was. I was born the year of the Challenger.
Yeah, 86 was the Challenger, but
those rockets just blowing up. Was there anybody on?
No, it's just his. It's just a test flight.
Okay,
they do.
It's just
have
for
you
fun.
seen the one that China like famously covered up?
Fuck it.
That launch that China had.
Hold up,
like
it
went
right
back.
If you say the C word 3 times at any stream, you might get demonetized. You're instantly going to be monitored. So be careful if you say it one more time. Don't mention that country.
I don't know what else to call it.
Continent or whatever. I know it's hard.
You have a gong.
Always listening.
Yeah. See, I don't. I'd rather not.
No, you got to say Chiners. You got to put an ER at the.
But have you seen that? Like, it's just like it's kind of this phenomenon then there's footage of it. Is that this liftoff happened? It was like some remote high knees launch pad.
I like that. That's good.
That like the rocket came straight back down to Earth, and then it decimated this small town. But the government saying, "Oh, there's only eight deaths."
Yeah,
there was only 8 deaths, and like people were like, "No, dude, like an entire town got decimated." But the high knees,
those high knees,
government says, oh, there was only 8 deaths, and it's fine. We cleaned it up.
Damn.
And there's like footage of it. everything.
Yeah, well, there's
I don't
nothing but fuckery and shenanigans coming out of there. So I
Kinda.
don't know.
Yeah.
What I do know is like 2 or 3 years ago, they built one of the largest like Arecibo type telescopes, radio telescopes. Like it was like an entire canyon, and then they were about to turn it on, and then you don't hear any more news about it. Like I heard nothing else.
It was a
Una's
hazard.
right. The PRC, the People's Republic. Yeah.
People's Republic. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they
Yeah.
call Boulder, People's Republic of Boulder.
Oh God, I'm sure they do.
What? Interesting.
We
Are they
like-
trying
we
to
like Boulder.
to succeed from the rest of
Secede?
succeed? So they're trying to succeed.
Well, back in the
Oh,
day, yeah, it there was a lot of forward-thinking people and people that just really differentiated themselves from everywhere. Like if you're a Subaru driving Birkenstock wearing hippie who wrote poetry and stuff. I
It's
mean,
similar to the movement in Portland, Cascadia. You know?
That's right.
You know, it's they want a secession from the American government to be its own thing.
Just give it a few more thousand years, and geology is going to do it for them.
Honestly,
just gonna
at this point,
sink them right into the.
Or a big
And
rock from space.
I say this as a proud. I've probably lived in Portland longer than any place I've lived in my life. I think the rest of the country is just gonna let them have it soon. Like let them have Cascadia. Like
Yeah, they're tired of them.
yeah, I think they're just gonna allow. You know, I probably not, but you know what I mean. Like it's such a. They used to call it Little Beirut when I first moved there because it's like such an enigmatic blue decibel, you know, in the sea of Oregon red. And they were like, "Yeah, fine, just take it," you know. Like take.
Do they
Portland.
get the whole Cascade range with them? Like they get the mountains?
I forget.
Like, how
We
does
could
it
look that
work?
up. What the Cascadia? I don't think it's the fault that they're talking about, but let's see, Cascadia. Because you remember the flags, Mary, that were everywhere. The
Oh.
fur.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Cascadia Independence Movement. Let's see.
Speaking of a do not or don't tread on me flag with like an Ouroboros.
I like it. If only the "Don't Tread on Me" flag didn't have as much a yokel racist connotation these days, but you know what I mean. But the Ouroboros is a good idea, and also unfortunately,
It has a
Ouroboros is
snake. I
overused.
forget what that snake is.
It's a rattlesnake. Yeah.
Yeah.
On the "Don't Tread on Me." But here we go. Proposed
take it back.
country.
You gotta take it back.
So it's even all through Washington
Yeah, it's not.
and
It's
Canada.
all of
yeah.
Oregon. It's not just.
It's a person with a mask on their face. Look,
It's literally the Pacific Northwest. Yeah.
profile.
I was like, no way, dude. Like, if anything, the one thing I love about the Pacific Northwest is there's supreme individuality. No one's ever going to agree on this. Like, everyone's going to have their own modes and methods on how to do this. And it's never going to work.
I think the entire United States should just balkanize, just completely get rid of all the federal government and let every single region dictate what happens in their region.
I like that.
Just it's insane. The country's too big and too diverse to try to put general fucking rules over everybody.
You know, I mean, there is something to be said about federal shit, but I thought that's what we were, you know, aimed for. Was
Not for
the
long.
state by state.
Well,
You know,
states, yeah, but it seems more like states.
There's
state
an
rights
overreach.
aren't really a thing. Yeah,
I like to think of it as like a Subway franchise, right?
Yeah, okay.
You can buy a Subway franchise.
But
But
big
when you
Subways
buy
still
the
tell you what to do.
Subway franchise, you're buying the menus and the logos and stuff to generate the business, but
Yeah.
it's up to you, you know, to generate
not
that
sure if
business in the
that's-
Subway
I
franchise.
don't know
And
if
those are the
our,
states.
I don't know if the states were based on Subway franchise laws. I mean, I'm pretty sure when they were writing the Constitution, they weren't.
There was a franchise thing.
But that's what I mean.
Where they
I'm
grandfathered in for.
I'm talking analogous to that though. Like it's a franchise, right? Like
Just
there's
like
still
a-
the overarching
God.
corporate idea of the federal government.
Federal
And
government
these are the little franchises.
Jared from Subway was a pedo. All the
God.
senators are pedos. It all makes fucking
Yep.
sense. Pizza Gate.
If we didn't get flagged
We just
for
flagged your
the
video
People's
right now.
Republic.
Yes, I totally just flagged you.
Shit.
Sorry.
Jared. Oof.
Jared.
That did not end well.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, what happened to Jared?
Oh no.
Jared from Subway? He got
Yeah.
busted for CP.
$5.
The children.
$5 kid song.
Oh.
Yeah. The children. You got busted for the CP.
Fuck.
I thought it was
Oh, like bad,
marijuana related,
bad
but that
too.
was the Dell guy.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh,
and,
the Dell
no,
guy too.
what's his face? The Michael Phelps was he got marijuana related. He was busted for pot. All these Subway dudes.
Ah.
These
Wait.
Subway scandals.
But this isn't pot. Like Jared was.
No,
like,
Jared was no good. He was a toucher. Come
Yeah.
on, get this fucking
Wait,
guy
I was
out
like,
of my
were we
sandwich.
equating pot with
No. We're just there's two different stories.
pizza?
What,
know,
what-
I
what
kinda-
we're saying is the guy, the "Can you hear me now" guy, he's still clean. He's good. So I mean, that's
He looks like Jared.
the dude you're getting in hell. That guy got arrested. All these fucking dudes from the early 2000s, all just getting rolled up.
You know, I don't know how much we want to get down on in this avenue because
I
I've
don't
done
have to get into
pretty
this avenue
well.
at all.
Yeah.
This is an avenue we don't
I've
need
done
to touch.
pretty
Let's
well.
just order a pizza and move on.
No, we
please.
can't order
Pizza was a wrong choice
Pizza's
of
the
words.
wrong thing. What are you gonna get? Hot
Wait,
dogs
what do you mean?
next?
What did I just say? What
You're
I
gonna
just
get hot
do? Is that
dogs
code
with
for
walnut
something?
sauce, Mary?
Yeah,
Just-
Come
pizza
on.
is
that-
literally code for this.
Is it code?
Fucking
What did
Kung Pao
I just
pizza.
do? Help!
Why can't we all just get along? Let's just order a pizza.
I just
Listen, first you need to go back to 4chan 5 years ago, and then all your answers will be there.
Damn.
Yeah, I've done pretty well. Like, you know, how do I put this? It's been
Wait,
like,
hold on.
it hasn't really bridged that.
4chan. Fuck is 4chan? We're
You know,
good.
that
Move on.
gap for me and like, you know, PRAGMAGICK and stuff. It's almost about like this, like inner absolution I'm searching for through like magnetic means of creativity and stuff. Like, it rarely does it matter what shape the earth is in that journey. You know what I mean? Even though I'm
yeah.
interested in all of that stuff, like it hasn't really become necessary for me to like worry about
Yeah.
any of that stuff. But
No, don't worry.
That's-
You'll be happy.
yeah, but and, you know, it's not without saying that like when I talk about conspiracy, it's like, well, you know, everyone has it wrong about me. I automatically distrust the government.
Everybody
I automatically
distrusts the government.
expect
Nobody should
expect
trust
nothing worse. You
Yes.
know,
Exactly.
what I'm worried about is like how to have me elevate above that. You know, like we're already
because when it comes down to it, it's like what actually affects your life, and then you kind of have to look at that.
Yeah. I mean, it can't be understated though, like local politics, all that shit. Like
Yeah.
it does seem like a rat race, or as Yogi brought up, you know, Neuroburrows and stuff. It's hard for me because I do think it's important
Snakes eat
and it's
rats.
something that I am concerned about, but I think I'm still in this mode in my life, at this era in my life, I'm still concerned about like my relation to it rather than its relation to me, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's like a victimhood thing I see a lot with conspiratorial thinking. You know, we've been lied to. Like, you know, we can't
I see-
trust this.
I
like,
wish
it's-
Mary had a bunch of like equations floating around
Yeah.
like that meme right now. Like she's just like,
Yeah.
wait,
Well, Mary and I
Wait.
talk about it all the time.
No, I know. But
Yeah.
you are
There's, like,
correct.
plastic photographs all
If
over
you
the
could
place.
see inside.
Yeah. A lot of
what's
hashtags,
happening right now?
a lot of
Ooh.
pancakes.
I know. I'm just thinking
Dave
about pizza.
Chappelle with
I'm sorry.
goat
I'm like,
hooves.
it's pizza conspiracy because, God damn it, what's happening?
Yeah, I think when I was trying to like
down.
bridge it, do a deeper, darker discussion, but I'm gonna read the room here and move
No,
on.
I'm up for it.
Deeper, darker.
Not darker. I guess what I mean is that, like, I don't know. Like, I've made peace with the idea that, like, I don't trust the like elemental, you know, society of which like I am accustomed to, you know, and I'm not interested. about proving that because I already don't trust it.
Yeah, you don't have to lay down
Yeah.
proofs or tell anybody. Yeah. I totally get that. You're happy with your truth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with Joseph LMPQT Biden as our president.
Yeah.
You know, as our president.
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
sorry, that was a bad joke.
It really doesn't matter who's president. I mean, things.
No,
it's
I was kidding.
Regardless.
The point is like, yeah, how everyone can just equate it to that. Like, what does that mean? Are you just like, you feel a little bit of relief for that? I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, who is? I mean, it does. I don't know. We're going down places. I'm gonna have an existential fucking crisis on this live stream right now, talking about
I
it.
support you for this. It's okay.
It's okay. Work through it. Work through it.
Can I say that there's weight lifted off of my shoulders for the fact that the people around me feel like there's weight lifted off of the. I'm like, good. You guys are happy. I'm happy. Let's just.
There's a collective
Cool.
conscious.
Like-
There was a paranoia. I think just a deeper paranoia with Trump. Even though, I mean, it could be stated that there's an adequate amount with Biden.
I'm going to tell you right now, Keats.
Yeah.
Trump was the most hilarious president we have ever had, and the greatest
not wrong.
entertainer of all time. And
I don't know about greatest entertainer of all time.
he's the
but
greatest entertainer of all time. I'm gonna say that right now.
I would cry,
whatever
laugh to
things happen,
Mary.
You
Like we would watch quotes, and I would be cry laughing and being like, "This isn't good. Like, why am I laughing so hard? This is
so ridiculous, so ridiculous." And Twitter doesn't know what to do without him there. Like, it's just crazy. But I mean,
I have zero other comment to make on what I'm about to say, except it is what it is. And I spent 10 hours in an audition for The Apprentice for Donald Trump one time.
no way. What do you mean you're gonna leave it at that, Yogi? The floor is yours. The floor is yours. Tell me more.
Yeah.
I don't really have a lot to say about it. It wasn't. I wasn't a huge fan of Trump necessarily. The funny thing is, when I was growing up in high school, there was this good friend of mine who was totally Trumped out. I mean, that was before Trump was. He was just a
weird to me.
trillionaire. He was a nobody, just trillionaire guy, you know, half of New York or whatever. I don't know. He was into sky rights about buildings. I don't know. It doesn't mean anything probably, but.
I mean,
Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. So my friend was really into him, and so I knew who Trump was and stuff, peripherally. But yeah, The Apprentice came on, and I don't know. I was into TV at the time or whatever, and reality shows, and that he came into town. I was like, what the fuck? I'd love to fly in a helicopter of my own. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I just did it for shits and grins, and
Yeah.
there was a lot of shit, a few grins. 10 hours. 10 hours.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say this, like, Trump always troubled me because of what, just like an outright fucking facsimile he truly was. Like, everything about him is a lie. Like, every single fucking
He was the
thing.
embodiment of the American president, because the American president is a fucking joke, and he's what it is. Like, he was perfection, because like it's a shit
can see that.
position. It's fucking garbage. It's a joke. He put a mirror on the fucking whole thing and showed how.
But he also did a lot of damage, like building up the Supreme Court and like the people that he surrounded himself
honestly,
with.
though, all those people are just career politicians that are going to literally vote the way that they get paid to vote.
Yeah.
Like, none of these people are like, oh, it's all fucking money and bullshit. Corporations run America. That is
absolutely and
all of that.
Biden is a corporate Democrat. Like, it's not a huge difference, but at the same time, like, Trump just like beat every moral fiber in me as like, this guy is like the epitome of a fucking terrible person.
Also,
like,
because
on
it was
every
a reflection,
level,
like everybody, all of us who went to high school, and you knew that fucking huge, just asshole, fucking just piece of shit that you see walking around
trust
being
fund
whatever.
asshole. Yeah.
You see them, and he embodied that. He embodied that for so many people. Where like you like the bully at school, or just anything, like, or if your dad was a piece of shit, like, he embodied every single horrible male stereotype you could think of, and just projected it onto the fucking American people. So, I mean, he was easy to hate. He was a target. He was by design. He was put there. Like, the whole thing's just
Don't forget Martha Stewart's Apprentice.
Martha Stewart's
like we can't say that he was easy to hate and a target when like almost dividing the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People that backed him.
Yeah, well, because there's also an entire generation of people that is him, like that also they're gonna fall into it. So it's like it's a weird, it's both sides of the spectrum.
I guess I don't
He's
know,
the most
like
dividing character ever.
There's like a divine vibration that I feel that like just fucking flicks when I see him and I know him and I know like his history and I know like what he is, and it's like nothing. Like he's like the epitome of like a garbage human, like in every facet.
Untouchable. And he's untouchable too, and and his ego won't even allow all the shitty things that he's ever done won't even allow that to get to him. Like he's just gonna keep existing and making money. So to put energy in hating this guy is just, it's the most wasted energy you could ever have.
It's tough too, because to put energy into deifying this guy.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's like the wrong way as well.
100%. I 100% agree with you. Anybody who thought that Trump was the Messiah or all this QAnon shit is just ridiculous. That's why we ironically mock it all the fucking time. Like,
oh, I know. Yeah, you guys are good about that.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, because you should not. We're all fucking human beings. Like, whether you're a politician, a king, a queen, whatever it is, like you're just a person. It's just, I don't understand this whole thinking that.
Amen. And this is what I talk about time and time again. The deification of human beings is ridiculous.
It should not be happening. That's like with celebrities. Just stop following them.
Absolutely.
Stop watching their movies.
Yeah.
Don't give them energy. They don't fucking need it. So unsubscribe from your Disney Plus, people.
Hashtag unsubscribe. Yeah. Jeez. Well, and that brings me to like, I don't know for how topical we want to get or through these like probably divisive conversations, but I followed pretty closely like the evidence and stuff concerning the Johnny Depp Amber Heard shit, and that's like a whole swell of like mistrial, rough, like the dark side of a heretofore good movement, someone taking advantage of it. What Me Too was supposed to be, it's like definitely seemed like she was definitely cashing in on that and using it to kind of umbrella her situation. I'm probably getting into a lot of trouble right
now. Who gives a shit, Keats?
Yeah. But like, there was something about me that like, there was something about me that like really followed. Like there's audio evidence out there of her and everything, and like I've heard it, and this is one of the cases where it's strange, where the court of public opinion is kind of right. You know what I mean? Because everyone's like, yeah, we're not buying it. Like we all heard the tapes, we've seen the evidence and everything, and then you have like the judge in Britain that was like in bed with Rupert Murdoch, not literally. But you know what I mean? Like fighting
fuckery all the way down.
Yeah.
There's fuckery all the way down.
Turtles all the way down. Yeah.
This is where you lose me. I'm like, what?
But you've seen me, like you've seen Mary, like I've been keeping up. I don't know. I just find it fascinating. This case.
I
don't think it proves like Me Too wrong in any way or whatsoever. I just think it's a fascinating thing that like we as a public have seen more than the courts, and like honestly it's like kind of remarkable how many people are like pro Johnny Depp in this situation, because we've all heard the tapes, we've seen the police record. It's like, it's just interesting to me, that's all I'm saying. That like for the one of the few times where the court of public opinion is actually correct, where due justice was wrong. You know what I mean? Grim's just smirking right now.
I'm just thinking about Johnny Depp.
No, it's just, I just think it's a fascinating thing. I'm not huge on
Free Britney.
Yes. Yeah. I just saw a thing on Free Britney. The other day there was this documentary I just watched. I had no idea about her like conservatorship or whatever.
Yeah, how
and
her
all that
dad like
shit.
owns all her shit. She's
It's
like,
so fucked
she's
up.
just
Yeah.
she's like in her fucking almost like in her 40s almost, and fucking
Yeah.
she can't even have anything. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
Childhood
It's interesting.
actresses. It is.
Oh, and that's
It's called
a
deifying
funny,
people. You were just deifying Johnny Depp there by paying attention to all that.
No.
No.
No. I see. I never said that he wasn't wrong too.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean? I just find it interesting with all the stuff that's public record.
Well, you know what's really awesome?
Yeah.
Just everything that's going to be in the news.
I don't give a fuck
is
about Johnny
sick,
Depp.
It's going to be sick, awesome Hollywood news for the next 4 years. It's going to be great. And more.
Like, Johnny Depp does not need my support. Like, who gives a fuck about Johnny Depp? But yeah, I'm talking more in like the big context of, you know, yeah, I think just the court of public opinion and what it's done, like cancel culture and like how it works. Like there are misfires. You know what I mean? Like supreme misfires.
Mhm.
All I'm stating is not. It's part and parcel. Going back down to like it's got to be case by case, right? There's like no one true rule for any of this shit.
There's
Like,
no
you
more
gotta-
nuance. There's no nuance anymore in the world. It's all just black and white.
Yeah. Spooky. I said it's the one time where I think public opinion is correct based on the facts that I've seen. That's not deifying Johnny Depp
Spooky's up
whatsoever.
I'm not seeing the chats right now.
But yeah, no, I think, you know, I've heard the audio tapes. I've heard all of this stuff. It just seems like someone that was milking and taking advantage of like an actually like pivotal moment in accountability, which was the Me Too movement and like, you know, all of that. But yeah, Spooky's just bugging me. Fuck you, Spooky.
Shouldn't
You
read
don't know
the
me.
chats. That's why you don't read the chats when you're streaming, Keats.
No, I love it. I like talking to people. Also, this is like I don't even know what this is. What are we even doing here?
I don't know. We're just
Is there
sitting
still
we
a
should-
Super Bowl? I was kidding.
I just
Maybe we
checked
should
the
do a-
score. What do you guys think it is?
What?
Wait, let me guess
Yeah.
first who's playing.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't even know that exactly.
The Baltimore Ravens
Hold up,
and
I
the
s-
Phoenix Cardinals.
I saw something about Tom Brady, but I don't think he's on the Patriots anymore.
Exactly.
But I don't know what
exactly.
team he's on now. So I know it's him and something else going on.
Okay. We've got one racist sounding team against another racist sounding
Redskins?
team.
Redskins.
No, we got the
Lions.
Kansas City Chiefs versus
Ooh,
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers
yeah.
based off of that limited information.
Wait, that's who's in the Super Bowl?
Yeah,
Indians and Pirates.
I will genocide it. We'll go rub another one
exactly.
out.
Indians
yep.
versus Pirates.
I'll go pinch another one out.
Yeah.
Who did it better? Who's up?
Okay, I'm gonna think the Pirates are winning because I mean Pirates have ships and cannons and better
Their
swords.
flag looks pretty fierce.
Wait,
Yeah, they
the
got
Pirates?
flags. So I'm gonna say Pirates are probably winning.
Oh, the
got a
Buccaneers.
Badass logo, huh?
Yep. Yeah, they've almost scored a very low basketball game score. That's how
Well,
high they've scored, and the other team has not.
even I know it's like
What are the
6
numbers?
points
What are the
All right,
plus,
numbers?
it's
field
okay.
goal for
9
7.
for the Chiefs and 31
Holy
for the
shit.
Buccaneers.
Wow, the Pirates are destroying.
Dude, that game is done.
Yeah, the Pirates are
like-
destroying the Indians.
Ouch.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know how to read what quarter they're
massacre.
in or
They
anything.
didn't land on
but-
Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed
All
on
right, it
them.
sounds like it's over. Sounds like it's
Yeah,
done.
that's how many hours are left in
I don't
this
know.
thing?
I mean,
It's almost
the
8
halftime
o'clock.
show already happened, so they're already halfway done.
Oh, okay.
Did anybody get a wounded knee in this one, or?
I hope so.
Oof.
Indians and Pirates.
That's rough.
They have a
Yeah.
field for
Sorry,
Less
I
than
brought it
5
back
minutes to
around,
go.
but-
Oh shit. So it's like there's no way in hell they're coming back in 5 minutes after that. So woohoo! All right, guys. The Super Bowl is
Unless we
probably
steal their
literally over.
cannons. Let's see. Yeah.
badges. We don't need no stinking badges. Who's coming on the Zoom and Woo, Yogi?
The Zoom and Woo. I'm wondering about the okay, so I'm not sure if I should continue Zoom and Woo as the title for everything I'm doing or what. So that's I'm kind of having a creative debacle there. But who's next on the show, whatever it may be. Let's see, Campbell from Autodidactic. You familiar with Autodidactic?
Peripherally through some YouTubes.
Yeah, he's out in Australia and he does some really cool research on all kinds of stuff, but Tartarian stuff and
hell yeah.
affairs. Really into that.
Give me that hidden history.
Yes, exactly. Antiquitech and all that. Actually, I think that's the first segue. Just one of the first cruise the first cruise in a mistake I ever heard. You guys were talking about people from like the 20s seeing movies or something, and like were they stupid, just like thinking, oh my god, it's a real train coming at me, kind of thing. I don't know if you ever even remember that conversation.
I have no idea what that conversation was, but that's like a cruise in a mistake conversation.
Flat train coming at me.
There's a lot of anomalies from all those videos and stuff from back in the day. So
nice.
It'd be interesting to see what Campbell has to say. And Randy Moggins is coming on Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
I haven't had the chance to talk to him before. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
So much to talk about.
What does Moggins do?
He used to. He's with. Or I'm not sure what exactly he's doing now. He was with Off Planet Media with Emily Moyer.
Yeah, that was an awesome show. Yeah.
And so they did some sort of division, some sort of creative split of some kind, but I'm not sure what it is because Emily's still using Off Planet Media as her Patreon. So I'll have to ask Randy about that. Unless you guys know.
I have no idea. Not privy to that information.
I thought he was a third member of what is it, Loggins in
Messina?
Yeah. Is that not right?
No.
Yes, you are.
You got it, Mary.
Loggins in Messina. That's awesome.
Yacht
Rock.
About structured water for sure. He's the first person that mentioned that I've heard of.
Oh, I had I would say like a destitute friend in Portland that was, I don't know, Mary, if you've ever met him, but he frequented like around my house and he would come into like the Barrel. What's the bar that we used to hang out at?
Double Barrel.
And like he would hang out and just sit there. But his whole thing was like he had all these like algorithms and writings about like a special oxygenized water or like I forgot what he called it, but it was like some like sincerely like touched, God flicked him in the brain kind of touched like about this like wonderful weird
math and stuff. Wow.
Oh yeah, it was so fascinating. I tried to like I used to like buy him cigarettes and stuff, but I kind of we lost touch. Like I gave him an old phone of mine, but I don't know if you ever got it figured out. But it was like fascinating to sit and listen to, though. Like it was like this purely like oxygenated water. It was still a bad oxygenized. There we go. Oxygenized like water that helped like refuel like mitochondria in the cells, and it was like this really brilliant thing. And he had like this whole notebook showing of work, and he had basically friends that supported his work that were like lab owning scientists. And I remember thinking, it was like, because the way he talked about it was like, oh, it kind of sounds like, I don't know how to put this. Sound like a drug lab or whatever, but they were working on like this supremely like structured water idea. Yeah. It was like
structuring.
I don't even, it sounded incredible. And it was like, it was his like huge oeuvre. It's like who he was as a person. Like he didn't care where he slept. He just wanted to like talk to people about this and like share his work. Like really brilliant dude. But I don't know what happened to him. And Amanda Pomander says Grimm's beard is ace.
Oh, hey, Amanda.
Pomanda. Reverse osmosis water. Yeah, it's like negative water. No, I don't think it's that.
I was like, because that's a pretty, like, you could get RO water at the grocery store.
Right.
I'm
No,
pretty
it's,
sure.
no. It was definitely something, like
Special.
revolutionary. It drove him insane.
Alien, like,
and he had people.
yeah.
He had funders. Like people
Dude, I
funded
wish-
his like research for
I
it.
met this guy.
Yeah, he was a big burly guy. Had a long beard. He looks like he was like a character in Sons of Anarchy, or there was a specific actor in Batman Begins who was like the crooked cop. He was like the hefty, burly guy. Yeah, I'd have to show you a photo, but yeah, I'm surprised you haven't met him. Actually, I don't know if you have. But that was in my like weird little Narrows era
Yeah.
of Portland, where I was like, frolicking amongst like supremely touched interdimensional beings, like in this weird industrial
Word. Yep.
part of Portland. Like
Their
such
radius was small. It's
Mhm.
like you felt it when you stepped inside. It was like,
yeah, it was a weird
anything can happen.
magnetism. Yeah,
I totally feel that.
yeah. Wrote an album about it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyways, I don't know. That's it.
You know. Everyone should drink water.
Everyone should
Everyone
drink
should drink water.
Actually, Mary, you
That
should
is
drink
a
water
fact.
more.
I probably should.
Water is important.
Man.
I drink a lot of coffee, but I also drink a lot of water. That's pretty much all I drink. A lot of tea as well.
I
I
feel like I
didn't
didn't
really
have to drink as much in the mountains, You just like stepped outside in Portland and got your like
Oh,
daily
yeah.
dose.
It's dry here, right? So
Yes.
dry.
Oh, in Colorado, absolutely different. Yeah.
Christ.
I can't get enough. moisture.
I didn't know Emily Moyer very well until your shows, Yogi.
She's so cool. I really enjoy her.
Yeah. What is her background? Like, what is she? Because when she was talking about that crystal bead game, I was like, yeah, that's like what Eric Millar's doing with his oracles and possible game
Right.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Does she have a background and like what? Yeah. What does she do?
Well, she is a person with a lot of insight, and she draws a lot of interesting connections, and is really insightful. And so she's had a rich history of all kinds of things. She would you probably want her to kind of disclose some of it. Has to do with all kinds of things that really shaped her. But anyway, that's essentially her background, is that she's very insightful and intuitive and draws like really good connections. So she's been working with Michael Wan lately, and Michael Wan does the Susquehanna Alchemy website.
Yeah,
familiar
I like that that YouTube.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they just have been doing a lot of work together, and that's something they came up with in one of their random conversations. I think they just kind of hit record and start talking. I love that. And they came up with this glass bead game, and it's still fascinating to me. It really is. It's wild. And so is your friend's oracle.
Well, that's what I was wondering, is because the way she described the glass bead, like it sounded like the Impossible Game from Eric Millar, which is this like, it's a divinatory game. Am I wrong in thinking that? I couldn't quite figure it out what she was talking about.
It's a book by Herman Hesse, but yeah, and I actually haven't delved into the specific meaning of it and everything, but that's exactly how I'm getting it too.
Well,
It's
like
also
What
a
is
game,
it called?
like metaphysical.
it's the glass
bead
bead.
game?
Yeah,
Okay.
because Mary's a little step.
I was like,
hero.
why?
Yeah.
I was like, Hesse, what are you talking about? He's my
Once you
dude.
pull it up on the
Yeah.
screen, yeah. It's fascinating though, for sure. It's
like, is
kind
she
of a metaphysical.
constructing this like
don't
from
know.
the idea of Hesse?
This I don't know.
Okay.
So she has some kind of Patreon endeavor that she's doing with Michael, and I'm really not sure if they're actually developing a game or if they're just kind of having a discussion group or what exactly they're developing with that. But you can check it out on our Patreon, Off Planet Media. I know I will be.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually, that was one thing I was thinking of doing, is checking out a bunch of my peers Patreons because so many of you guys offer such cool things for your Patreons. And I don't
I
have
had
a lot of resources, but I want to do that even at an entry level.
I had a long talk with Navier about Patreon. It was one of those late night, like I was working all night, and I know we just got to talking, and I feel weird about Patreon because I don't feel like I give enough. Even though like it's $1 a month or
Yeah,
whatever.
dude, I made ours $1 a month too.
Yeah, but I'm still like all over the place. Like I'll release demos that only they'll hear, or I'll have like, I'll share some fiction that I'm writing, or they'll hear uncut or unedited podcast chats, and yet it still feels like I'm not doing enough, and I'm like screaming into the void, like, what do you want from me? Like, you're paying me this money a month, like what are you paying for? Tell me.
Well, I mean, just do what you're
The-
doing. They're already
right.
paying you money. People will come. You do what you do, and people will give you money.
I guess when money gets involved though too, it's like you want to be you want to step to the game, right? Like,
I know,
You
but
provide value.
the way I look at it, it's like if I donate to somebody or I'm giving them money, like I'm giving that creator money. Like I'm supporting them. I don't care what they're doing, what they're putting out. Like I like the shit that they do enough, all their shit, I want to give them money. But that's the kind of way I look at it. Like
my thing too is
don't stress about it. Like unless people are bitching to you, don't stress about it.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
When people sign up, I'm always quick to be like, hey, make sure you check the old posts. Like there's like full albums. There's like a wealth of shit you can get for $1 a month or whatever.
What you could do is literally just hit record and do a stream of conscious for like 20 minutes and then just post that. And that's just something that's content right there. Like,
I was starting to do a weekly thing, but I couldn't figure out how to jive with the new live stream function in Patreon. Have you seen that, Grim?
I have no idea. All I do is post an audio. I basically use it as a podcast thing. I don't know.
There's this live stream function that I tried out like a couple weeks ago, but it's I don't know, it just didn't work, and then I had to do like an unlisted YouTube thing. But if I could just if they had a function just to like cloud it on the site, just like hit record, and then send it over or whatever. But I don't know, Patreon's funny to me. Like to me it's like I think of it very deeply and I consider it a lot, and at the same time, like I'm very in awe of creators like CW, who's like, if you like my content, that's all you get. Like, subscribe monthly or whatever. Like I don't need to give you anything extra. Like, I stream every day. What's that?
Have you guys found value in the Discord?
Oh, my Discord has been infinite value. Like we started that when we started the podcast pretty much, and that's where we
the Cruising with Steak Discord is like one of the first ones.
I
ever joined.
I noticed there's a lot of content.
Eric Millar and I are thinking about starting a We the Hallowed one.
Dude, you just got to start it. I remember, you posted that like a week ago. You were like, what do you do? And I'm like, just make it. Just build. Yeah. That's the first thing you do is just build it and then put the icon and start throwing invites out.
You don't need money, right? Though?
No, it's if you go into Discord, you go all the way to the bottom. You see that little plus where it says add a server? Just click that. Boom, you built a server. Like you create a server right there. It's
okay.
Free. It's so easy. I figured
because of like hosting and stuff, maybe you
have to pay nothing. Discord's weird. Still. That's why I think it's probably some sort of NSA operation that's collecting all the data. But I mean, fuck it. Who cares? Everything that I do is already online anyway. I stare at a fucking black screen for how many hours a day? It's crazy.
Yeah, I have to give big ups to Spooky. She's been like my go-to about Discord stuff because I honestly only used it for Cruising with Steak or like What Magic Is This? I think magic.me, like random little rooms plus my freelance gigs and shit, because everyone uses Discord in the freelance world now and stuff. And I was like, I don't know why it's taking me so long to right. Slack was the big one. Yeah.
Just gotta build.
So how come you don't broadcast your shows directly to Discord? Does it not have that capability or something?
Yeah, I mean, I could,
you can like live stream on Discord, but through the channel, you can't. I don't think you can post it to other streaming outlets, can you?
I'm not sure, but I just
Yeah.
I don't know. We got a we have our own radio station where we just start.
Tell me about that.
Oh well.
Yeah, we just been playing it all, dude. I just said fuck it, like because we were on Grimerica for a while, like Grimerica FM we were on, and then Darren said he was gonna cancel the station, and I was like, fuck it, we'll just get our own. And
What's the hosting like that like? And like, what's
Yeah,
the
man.
programming like?
It's dude, it's I use this radio.co. It's
Okay.
$40 a month. I could post up to like 10 gigs of audio on the stream, and then it's I could stream anything I want. I don't.
Does it
love
go
it.
land radio too? I mean,
No, it's just it's internet radio. It's not on like
okay.
yeah, it's not on terrestrial. But yeah, I don't know. I like it. I like the freedom because I can pretty much do anything I want. And like with YouTube, you can't play music or you get pulled off. With there, I could do anything I want.
That's how you get away with all that stuff. Okay.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can. Yes, yeah. We play
Well, also-
music all the time. Yes.
You know, the screwed up thing too with YouTube, it's like it's
I
been
love the
such a
music.
slow crawl for me. Like I have more listeners with the podcast version than I do like people on YouTube. But like
Really?
yeah, like far more. I mean, I started as a podcast, so it's generated and been built better. But like this last year, really trying to break into YouTube, it's just been like it's been a rough and tumble. It's a fucking weird mechanism to break.
It is. It is.
I get copyright struck for my own music.
Yeah, that's
all
fun.
the time. Yeah, I'm just like, why am I doing that?
Did you guys hear about the algorithm hack?
The demon.
About the surveys?
No.
I don't know I think you have to have 1,000 subscribers to have a certain tab, like a community tab. I don't know if either of you guys qualify for that, and I haven't noticed. But
No, I don't. I don't use YouTube.
I guess you
Somehow I have, my channel has 90 some subscribers though. Just I have like 2 years of mistake fucking videos on it.
Oh, that's right, because Cruise and Mistake doesn't have a YouTube presence except for Jerry's channel, huh?
Except for Jerry's channel, yeah. Yeah, we're kind of anti-YouTube, which we talk a lot of shit, and most of the videos that we post, those sections get like removed from, or Jerry gets flags all the time for our videos that he puts up there.
Yeah, I foresee some issues with my content in the future, so I gotta find somewhere to be.
Go to BitChute. It just
BitChute.
sucks. You don't get a lot of exposure on BitChute, but it's a thing.
BitChute just reminds me of Sticks, Hex, and Hammer, and I'm just
Yeah, I mean, you can put anything on there. Dude, just take your shirt off, put a leather jacket on.
yeah.
I always do.
Yes.
Oh my God, Sticks, Hex, and Hammer. Don't get me started.
I never got into him.
But yeah, like he's like the clown prince of BitChute. Yeah.
Well, see, I'm thinking about just making a channel and just completely cloning Tim Pool's gimmick and calling it the Grimcast.
I love it.
Grimcast
IRL.
Grimcast IRL, yes, where I sit there and I just like read Twitter or like a news article and bitch about the left for like 20
Oh my God, Tim
and
Pool.
then say, but really I'm in the central. But really I'm in the center. Like, dude,
It's not.
Dude, I could just play that game for fucking and get millions of dollars.
According to patriotnews.com, like
Yes.
all of his fucking citations are all obviously right-wing propaganda.
Look for Grimcast IRL coming out pretty soon.
Nice.
Nice. I just
Dude, this whole grift of like
on and go. Dude,
this
they're
whole
grifting
grift
so
of
hard.
X left.
Yes,
You
I want
know,
to do it. I
Dave
want to
Rubin.
pull that grift. Yes. I
Oh,
wanna pull the
God.
grift. I think I
man.
can do it.
I got a burning desire.
Yeah.
A burning desire to poop on their doorsteps.
If I do it during the day before I start drinking and I'm sober, I think I can pull this off.
No, even better. Yeah. Oh man, there's you've seen those CG videos, right? Of like the Tim Pool
Face
like
Oh.
No, I haven't.
okay. I'd have to find it. I probably won't
That's all right.
right now.
That's all right. I'll forget about this literally in 2 seconds, so it's okay.
Oh god. But yeah, I'll send it to you later.
All right.
But yeah, Tim Pool, like, man, and this whole like he has the perfect narrative for the grift. I worked for Vice,
Mhm.
blah blah blah. So like obviously I was a lefty and everything, and like it's just gotten too out of hand. And then you look at his sources, and people have done this. They've like done pie charts about where he gets his news from, and it's like predominantly right-wing media.
Yeah.
It's like
Like a
I don't know,
pizza
it's
pie.
just- Yes.
Well, I gotta
pie chart.
I mean, Keats, I want to trigger everybody, and I got to counter that. Maybe it's because right-wing media is more accurate and honest news reporting. Is that maybe the case? Can you say that?
No.
You have
I
proof?
can't. I mean,
Your
I can't
sources?
see any biased.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Alex Jones has read the fucking
Well,
documents.
look at this. What I'm talking about is like, look at this dude. This Tim Pool, like all of his clickbait titles, like are pulled from, right wing servitor news media outlets, and they're all like scare tactic headlines, total clickbait.
100%.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is like,
Leftists say
he's
we're gonna have
trying
to
to
eat
be-
babies when we sleep.
Yeah,
Just
if he's trying to be like a median, of those, outlets or whatever, it's like hilariously going about it the wrong way. Like, it's funny now, Like I want to just on some random blog just start like rightwingboner.com and then like type in like, oh, the left, found sucking blood from Hillary, Clinton's teat or whatever. And I swear to God, if it got enough hits, Tim Pool would read that like it's fucking fact. Which, now that I say that out loud,
You
doesn't
would.
sound that far-fetched.
It's fucking it's clown world.
But that's what I'm talking. This clown world of everyone thinking that they're, we are a true unbiased media. I mean, Fox News's fucking slogan is unbiased, which is just like hilarious. Like there's a part of me, you're not wrong, Grim, that I just love just that fuck of no,
It's
you're
great.
wrong. Fuck you, no, you're wrong. It's like it's maddening.
It's great.
So, hey, I don't want to be the naysayer of politics, but like, fuck
Should we stop?
politics.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, I don't think
absolutely.
we'd be talking
I do
about
that.
politics under the bleachers. I just want to bring it back to,
You wanted
Yeah,
to
Thank
should-
you.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like my eyes were glazing over for like 20 minutes, and I'm like, oh my god.
Mary, that's why you're here.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I took it for long enough.
Thank you. Cool.
All right, Mary, you're in the host
Speaking of
chair.
shoes,
starting
Okay.
now.
that has nothing to do with shoes.
I know, right?
Segue.
All right, yeah, Mary.
I'm sorry.
go for
I
it.
don't think a conversation has ever been made more awkward by changing the subject from politics. I'm
Well,
like,
speaking of segue,
whoa.
Didn't the guy who invented the Segway, didn't he die in a Segway?
I hope so.
I think he really did. I think he
I
rolled off a bridge. I'm not kidding.
Probably
I
following
think it's terrible
GPS
irony, but
straight into the.
oh shit, keyboard problem.
No, you're fine, but just remember who's on this stream with you. It's me who could care less about.
Grim did that.
Oh, it's 100% probably my fault.
It probably is. I'm new to this, but puppies and kittens, you know,
Puppies and kittens.
are pretty cool.
Where's my kitten?
Shut up, Keith. This is why I don't have a
Sorry, cat.
podcast, okay?
Meow.
Oh my god. Well, actually, Yogi, I would like to know, could you rewind what you just said about the dude plummeting himself into what happened? The
Remind me
Segway
one
guy?
more. Oh, the Segway guy. Yeah.
Did
I
he
should
jump, fall
Google
off a
it.
bridge or something? What happened?
I think he was riding a Segway and fell off of a bridge into the Thames movie. I'm not kidding. It sounds so stupid, but I gotta look it up.
Oh my gosh, please say he was giving a Segway tour and then that's where the demise happened.
I hope I'm not spreading some terrible false.
Oh, it's all right. We can spread all
That's
the
fine.
fine. We want.
I mean, you know, that's for my show.
Oh, man.
Well, I tarnish Keats's reputation here. So what is it? Segway? I forget. Is it? It's not like G-U-E. It's W-A-Y, right?
I think it's literally, Segway.
I always think of Segway like this, transition. Dean
But-
Gammon. You think that'd be the first thing?
The Segway guy did die on a Segway. Oh my God, that's fate right there. All right,
did?
what would you
Almost
guys,
like
if
we
you
are
could,
truly in a simulation.
if you could invent something that you would then later die doing, what would it be?
Wait, what did you just ask me?
If you could invent something
Okay.
and then later die, like that is your fate, to die
From it?
using said invention.
AI.
Doing
real
good.
I know, right?
My mind's just going to all these horribly perverted
Exactly.
things.
I know.
He fell
I
off the
see it
cliff.
ticking.
Just
Sorry, I asked. I know.
Did you hear that? So maybe you already said this, Mary. I'm not sure if you looked that up. So you verified that he died from.
No, I was just repeating what Spooky said in the chat to confirm. It was just a funny way that it was said.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the chats. I forgot I'm not watching this.
Yeah.
So the inventor died in 2010 from injuries apparently sustained falling from a cliff while writing his own product.
Whoa.
Damn.
A glitch in the matrix.
According to Wikipedia.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, if I could die from an invention, it would probably be some kind of thing where, like, you know how when you first get into a set of clean sheets and they're so warm and so clean and so cozy that you're like, just take me now, like I'll just die. So I would probably have to invent something that enhanced the sheet.
Super clean sheet machine.
Exactly. And
like
then,
a murder bus with the feeling of just snuggling in a comfy sheet.
exactly. And then just, yeah, that would probably be it.
Who is this
That's-
Peter Poon joining right now?
Wait,
I
what?
think it's Nuperty.
I think it's Keith.
What y'all know? It's Peter Boone.
Oh shit, that's his
Peter
his outside ego.
This is my e-girl account. No, I was gonna take you guys for a cigarette, cause I do what I want.
Nice. Menthol?
Snuggled to death. It's like when there's not politics, what else is there? I totally killed the buzz. I'm sorry, guys.
Well, my problem is I don't even realize when I start talking about things. I just get going, and then it's like, oh shit, I'm down dark paths.
Exactly.
Oh no, I mean, you know,
too.
like it's something that I think about a lot. Like I still ingest this fucking Tim Pool like media hate watch. Like it's still like in me, waiting to come out.
Tim Pool. I need to look this person
Tim
up.
Pool.
Yeah. I'm not
Oh,
familiar
gotcha.
with that. I've heard the name.
But you know, I'm just using that as an example. So like, yeah, if I'm in the moment, the tides are right, you know, and Grimm says the magic word, then all hell is gonna break
Some
loose.
kind of creepy looking journalist, I guess.
Yeah, it's there you go.
Oh my god.
Journalist.
All his
Journalist
photos
beanie.
are in this very terrible looking beanie.
Oh my God, Mary, we need to get that. We need to snippet that. This is Mary's first reaction to Tim Pool.
Oh my
And
god.
she immediately reacts that all of his photos are in a stupid looking
I
beanie.
gotta zoom in and see who
That's
made
all he's
this
ever in.
beanie. Who's he
Yeah.
repping?
Kangol. It's gotta be.
Yeah, I know,
Anybody
right?
else make it even?
No, it's not even a cool like beanie. It's like
Exactly.
I don't. It looks like a sock.
Your nightmare, Keith.
It is my nightmare.
What's the crew that runs around and fights crime in the red berets? Who's that again? Dang it. You know what I'm talking about?
Like the like street gang.
And the red.
Yeah, they're like an anti-street gang. Street gang. They started here in Colorado.
Did they start here in Colorado?
I believe so. The red beret people with white shirts.
Yeah. Yeah. They were like they were just like a 70s street gang.
Yeah, like the Cobra Kai, and they were good apparently.
I would have chosen red beret over that fucking beanie any day. I'll tell you that much.
Oh my God, they're just all bad two-tone beanie.
I love that though. Talk about a first reaction to Tim Pool. That was classic.
I don't trust him. I don't like him.
A quick Google search. Oh,
that's all.
I guess he's a journalist, maybe? He's always wearing the stupid beanie. That's funny.
I think he goes back and forth. And now there's a beanie with his name on it, too, it looks like.
Does he have one with a propeller?
Yeah, he should. See, that would be awesome. That would be hilarious. A little pinwheel.
Ooh, like, or like on the top.
Like what's his name? The Pinhead from Freaks. You know, always wears that like propeller cap.
Oh my God.
Well, thank you everyone for enjoying us. See, I'm not like ending it or anything, but I just wanted to say like how funny and nonchalant this whole thing is.
Hey, thanks for inviting me. This is fun.
Yeah,
Fun to hang out.
This was good.
I was just going to shun humanity and hang out with my cat. So
shonendump.com, cruisersteak.com.
Well, like I said, Grim, I'm not quitting it yet unless you need to go. But I just wanted to get that out before I forget.
Well,
I'm sure.
Yes.
I read the room.
I love you having me. Mary, it's great meeting you, Yogi. It's awesome.
It's great meeting you.
I hang out with you, Grim Steak.
Yeah, well,
fun, man.
Yes.
Hope to do it again sometime.
Come on,
is it late? Are you on the East Coast?
Yeah, I'm on the East Coast. It's 10:30.
Oh,
Philly.
Yeah, it's night time for you.
Yeah.
Send our love to Lady Oboshi.
I will, definitely.
Yes.
I will. Yes, you guys have a lovely night. Take care. So long.
Bye,
Cruising with Steak.
Oh shit, is that his steez?
I think it's cruisingwithsteak.org he wanted to say. Or .edu, I think. Cruisingwithsteak.edu, I think it was.
There's there's radio station is CO, right?
It is something .live. It's like Cruising with Steak radio.live or something.
See, this is a problem. Yeah, there's got to be like a better way to link everybody together.
That's why link trees are great. You know,
exactly.
I fell into the hole though, because like my Dakota Slim is dakotaslim.net, and then it's pragmagic.com, and then it's wethehollow.org. You know, because back in the day I thought you had to equate the dot whatever to what it was, but now it doesn't matter.
Oh, right. It'd be cool if We the Hollow had its own radio station.
Yeah, it could. You know, I'm still really, I'll have to talk with Spooky more about it, but like really getting that We the Hollow Discord up. I think a lot of people would find that fun, and then have a bunch of channels for different things, and even a submission channel that we can post on the blog and stuff. So,
Mary, I don't know if I know, what do you do in the world besides play with doggies?
Oh,
and stuff?
I know. Well, it's funny. I had just come off of a teaching a class online to a Girl Scout troop.
Oh,
funny. Cool. A little like wilderness survival awareness class.
Nice.
And so I was kind of pumped when Keats was saying he was going to do this, and I'm like, all right, I'm warmed up. Let's go. So that was pretty fun. So I normally, you know, we teach in-person stuff, right? And that's how I met Keats, was in Portland at this organization. And yeah, so it was fun to be actually like teaching a group of like all girls, and they were super cute. And I was like, we built these little mini, like, basically if you could picture like teaching skills on like a small like diagram scale. I don't know how to explain it, but it was fun. So that's kind of what I'm doing these days, is teaching online classes and doing helping the camp do administrative things to help keep it afloat during these COVID times. So yeah,
It's gonna be tricky right now. I was wondering about all that. I didn't
it's
know if you were
actually, since it's an outdoor based school and camp, we get away with a lot more things because we get to be outside, so that's nice. So yeah, all things considered, it's going great, but we're just trying not to step on each other's toes virtually. I think we
That's what
both
brought
have
us
so
out
much
to
going
Colorado.
on.
Yogi was
What's that?
That's what brought us out to Colorado. Was she was starting a chapter of
Ah.
this outdoor education.
I didn't recognize that exactly. I knew it was in that area and stuff, and I kind of, yeah. So that cool. That's good to get more background. That's awesome.
We had
Yeah.
a really successful summer, even during COVID, and then it got shut down the last week of our instruction because a kid tested positive.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even think it was a
I don't think
real
so.
thing. It just put a little damper on things, but
It's definitely it's fascinating to think about. Like us, we brought a busload of kids out to the wilderness and threw knives and started fires and shot arrows.
that's so
Meanwhile,
cool.
COVID was happening, and it was hilarious. Like the parents, like how bad they wanted their kids out of the house.
oh
I
yeah.
bet. Yeah.
We're so versed in like giving them this great story at the end of the day, and they're just like, "That's great, cool, kid.
Yeah, we
Thanks
don't
for
care."
taking them." Yeah,
Mhm.
but it's fine. No, I mean, even in those, the 2 months we got the kids outside, there's such an impact, I feel, and I feel like the kids even devolved, if I can say, from like, because they just had like 6 months of being so glued to technology that the kids quickly lost social skills, I feel like. So it was kind of a trip to take an already disconnected generation and like
Yeah, that's also what tethered us.
it's very interesting.
Moving to Colorado, it was like we had to do something tethered to big city because that's where the kids
Yeah.
need it the most.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
you're so right about that. Big time.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know if I've talked about this. Maybe we can announce it. Well, we just booked our flight to go scope out places to live because I think by summer we'll be moving to Seattle.
Wow.
Yeah.
We're
Right on.
kind of just in this position with the job where it's kind of just taken, I guess wherever they need the help is where I unknowingly signed us up for like, okay, we're going to Denver now, we're going to Seattle. But as we get closer to that potential, I'm actually beginning to get that feeling where I'm going to really miss Colorado, like
Yeah.
immensely.
It's the old
I wasn't
haircut
like
adage.
quite ready to go, if I can be honest. Like,
And to be fair of our time in Colorado,
yeah,
to be fair, it wasn't fair. Like we moved here, COVID started in February. Like,
Right.
I had helped set up a venue. Our first show was March 13th, Friday the 13th, and then the next day a public what they call like not martial law, but like a public emergency thing where everything shut down.
yeah.
After that. So like all of the community that we built and everything that we were doing, just went out the window. And it's not Colorado's fault, but it's
No.
definitely kept us from like
Little damper
really
on things.
finding that stuff. Yeah. So,
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
yeah.
But that's actually not why I wanted to come here, was for that aspect.
Right.
Because once you get out of the city and you just take a drive a little bit into those mountains, everything changes,
Right? Oh yeah. Yep.
It's like, I'm like, okay, I understand now. Like Colorado is not Denver. It's like those aspects of the big city that get a little, foggy at times.
Yes.
And so I don't know how much you get out, Yogi. I'm sure enough because you're right there.
Yeah, I never. It's never enough, but I do get out. I used to go to the gym and weightlift every day, and since I don't go to the gym now, I get out on my bike a lot. So like last week, I rode up to drove. I live out in actually in Louisville, which is just a little east of Boulder.
Oh yeah.
So I cruised up to Chautauqua. Have you been there?
No, not yet.
I just on
Yeah.
a whim. I just rode up there and hung out up there at Chautauqua for a while, caught some cool scenery, and then rode along the mountains, the foothills there to North Boulder, and then made a little ride to Gun Barrel and back home. And it was beautiful.
Nice.
But
It's
that being
beautiful.
said,
I think
I don't get out and hike.
yeah. Yeah, it's a little intimidating still for me. I'm like, God, those mountains are vast. I'm subscribed to this online magazine called Outdoor something, Colorado. And every day there's new articles about people getting lost and like dying in avalanches. And I'm just like, or like driving off the road. And I know that that's not every day. And but something about the mountains definitely intimidates me. It's like, so
yeah, we had lovely times. So we had great sites that we took the kids out to.
Oh yeah,
I think I asked you about this before, Yogi, but a place called Staunton I felt was like it had enough greenery to be a facsimile of the Pacific Northwest.
Wow.
While still having like Staunton.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Out towards Pine.
Yeah.
Like southwest. Like
I loved it because like in our line of work, or like what we came out to do, we need a lot of different terrain to kind of teach, the whole gamut of stuff that we're teaching. And so there's only so much we could do in like say Rocky Mountain Arsenal, where it's basically just like plains of dead grass.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Some man-made lakes, teaching fishing and stuff. But it's been quite lovely. And to Mary's credit, she figured this all out, and like we had a super successful summer. And we came out here, I think October. Like around Halloween is when we got Denver specific, and then that summer we were up and running, like out of a church, a busload of kids, like teaching all this stuff. It was like
on it.
Yeah. But yeah,
good
I'm
times.
really excited to get back to the Pacific Northwest, like, to be completely honest. I love, I grew up in New Mexico and Arizona, so Colorado is kind of this cool in between of the Northwest and the desert, I really dig it, but there's just something about like the Pacific Northwest is the only place I ever moved back to. I only lived there twice out of all the different places I've lived, I moved back to the Pacific, and it looks like it's gonna happen again. So
that's one place I've never been that I've always wanted to go.
Oh yeah, and Amanda's in Scotland, like, and I've told this to Amanda Pomander, but like, I kind of wept when I left Edinburgh. Like, I loved it so much. To me, Edinburgh is like one of my favorite places I've ever been in my life. And it's on the same kind of latitude as the Pacific Northwest, and it kind of makes sense. It's like very gray, rainy, green.
She was saying she can only take the sideways rain for so much longer.
I know, yeah.
I was like, I don't know. In my research, I got the impression that it was a little bit more intense than where we're from, Keats. And I could be wrong, but I don't know. Just like, it seems so far up there on the map when I'm looking that it's.
Yeah, there is something about that latitude too, and Spooky, she spent time in the Pacific Northwest too, so she's got like, that in her past too. There's something I know equating the UK and like Pacific Northwest. There's just something connective about it, even though it's, you know, a whole continent and a pond away from each other.
Yeah.
One way, you know, an entire world the other way. But yeah, I've always loved it. I loved my time in London. I loved, you know, Scotland was just, yeah, it was my favorite. It felt like it never slept, and we were jet lagged. So to me, it was like I finally feel like here's a place where it doesn't matter what like frequency I'm tuned on, you know, waking or not. Like I'll always find something to do, and there'll be something to, you know, be communal about. So, but yeah.
Do you guys have, because I've been kind of daydreaming about once you can travel again, what's first on my stop? Have you been doing any thinking like that, Yogi? Or anyone in the chat? I'm always curious of travel plans.
I bet people in the chat have much more creative answers than me. I would love to. I'd love to go to the hot springs. Really, here close in Colorado, we get to a hot spring.
Yeah.
We were supposed to go.
That's a reasonable goal, honestly.
I'd go anywhere really. I haven't done a lot of
go at the end
traveling.
of February. Mary?
No, I know, but actually, the more I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what's the policy with being in hot springs with other humans right now? You know, I'm like, sometimes we forget. We're like, yes, we're just so stir crazy to get out. Let's go to the hot springs, and we haven't fully thought out how that's going to work.
That gives me a lot of anxiety to even think about trying to plan something like that out, unfortunately. But I'm pretty content here. But it would be nice to see some other places. What about you? Where do you want to go?
Let's see. Spooky wants Italy. To go to New York City and DC. Lame, I know.
No, it's not. No. NYC and DC.
No, Autumn in New York.
Now, because Autumn in New York was something that I've like always loved. But it's weird because I lived in New Orleans like a year or two after Katrina, and so I never really got to know New Orleans before Katrina, and I feel like New York's gonna be like that with this. Like you won't, if you didn't see New York before COVID, like it'll be forever changed because of it in a way.
Yeah.
You know, is it true a lot of people have left?
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people have left. Like I don't know, it's probably prime for something great to happen, but it's just, that's how I see it in my mind. It's like everywhere is going to be new now, you know. I can't go back to like Autumn in New York like I did when I was on tour, because what is even a tour now? Like, you know, like what is even New York now? Yeah.
I'm really curious of what things are going to actually stick around even when everything goes back to, you know, normal. Like, have we changed our culture or society from, you know, the new ways we're doing things? If anything, maybe we'll just be more European and people will eat outside more. I'm like, cool, maybe sidewalk cafes will be a thing now. But
yeah, I know personally, I hope, you know, conglomos are gonna hit the muck and the mire, and there'll be more mom and pop movie theaters, mom and pop, you know, media centers, event places. Like that's a big hope, and I think it's looking towards that. But
here in Louisville, they have a main street, and they have like a lot of open air seating now, and people don't wear masks and they sit out in the open, which is really cool to see. But it's kind of like blocked off now for like this restaurant row of mom and pop places. But they used to have, every week they would have a music festival out here along Main Street, and I don't know if they're going to resume that, but everybody here talks about it and how they hope it comes back.
Yeah, I think outdoor concerts will be the first ones, obviously, like outdoor festivals. I don't know how you'd even police something.
I know. People still need to be refunded for their Coachella tickets, I'm sure.
Nah, fuck them. If they bought Coachella tickets, they deserve the hit. No, I'm just kidding.
It's just interesting. I wonder all the people fleeing to like going and buying property in the really cold states, like up in the Northeast. Like, are they going to have 1 year and be like, what the hell did I? What did I do?
There's only so many. There's only so many trust fund LA kids and like Native American headdresses watching Death Cab for Cutie that I can take. You know?
I can't say I've ever been to a Coachella, so you probably had the last hurrah before
I did. I actually went to a Coachella. It was 2004. Yeah, and from my knowledge, I mean, I had a very mixed time because I'm just not a big festival fan. But the lineup to me it's still kind of the greatest I think I've
What
ever
was it?
seen. That's when the Pixies were reuniting. I saw Beck play an acoustic show in a tent. It was The Cure. Radiohead. Air was a huge one. Yeah, Air. My first time on Molly watching Air. So I mean, it was like a big. To me, that was like, okay, I've done it. That's it for me. If I was playing it, if I was playing a festival, that might be. But just like this aimless wandering around, like hot consumerism, like really got to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I'm
$8
yearning for
bottles of water.
Yeah.
Right.
People have some awesome answers for where they want to go. It's like I feel like we've all
let's
just
check it
been
out.
there in our heads. It's like, yes.
What do they say?
Oh no.
Amanda's sister's in from Australia. You know where I really want to go, Amanda, is Perth.
But that's where Campbell from Autodidactic is from.
Oh, awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Perth, or like what I've read about it, never been, but to me, it's like, it's like this lost beach community kind of area. Sounds really fun.
Wow. Yeah, he says it's quite remote. Yeah.
Yeah. Australia would be probably top of my list, though. I know that Mary and we've got to get to Italy to see some roots. Me, Sicilian, and her Italian, but
very
that's
cool.
a big thing.
That would be a great place to go. Anyway,
I think that's first on our list, right, Mary? I know it's first on yours. Yeah,
it is. Oh yeah, I was guilty of looking up right before the election of easiest countries to move to for American expats. Not saying that Italy is easy by any means, but there's this cool exchange that Italy and the US have going on where we are I don't know what it's called, but purchase land on, like Italians have the permission or rights to buy property in the US, and we can do the same in Italy.
Oh, fun.
Whether or not like getting your citizenship, that's a whole other story, but so you better believe it. I was going down the rabbit hole of looking up. I'm like, let's buy an old castle. Like, fix it up.
Property rights. Oh yeah, that'd be sweet. If they actually have some towns or cities in Italy that are offering land or property for super cheap. I guess one of those things where you can buy it for super cheap and you have to redo the property or something.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've been looking into homes like up on the East Coast. There's a lot of like very cheap but renovation heavy.
Yeah.
Which I'd be down, but I'm not a snowbird.
I know.
To be honest. Yeah. And it's a different kind of snow out there.
Cool, except heating the thing is always an issue.
Right.
With iron stove, right?
Right.
Oh my goodness.
Dead babies.
That's another hobby right now. A quarantine hobby is all the cool renovations people are doing with their
burning
time.
Dead babies and virgins.
God. Oh boy.
Jeremy, I'd love to visit you. Man, you look like you're in such an awesome place. Jeremy from the Alchemical Arts is an Australian, and I know he just moved out of Melbourne, I think, and moved to like somewhere a bit more remote, and it sounds like a dream. And Yogi, if you don't know Jeremy, you should have Jeremy on your chat.
Love it, Jeremy. Come on my chat.
He's like a true alchemical romancer of the stone. Like he creates his own pigments and everything. And
I saw him on your show one time.
Yeah, he's been on a couple times.
I had something to say about him on one of our conversations. I'm not sure when. Maybe it was our first one. Anyways, what's his name again? I think I probably subbed anyway. But
Jeremy, but his YouTube is The Alchemical Arts.
The Alchemical Arts.
Yeah.
Well, Jeremy, if you're interested in coming on Who's Zoom and Woo, that'd be awesome to come chat with me, please. Sweet.
Yeah, absolutely. And like check out his Instagram. I believe it's the Chemical Arts as well. Um like yeah, we talked, I think maybe a little over a year ago was the first time we talked, and he was like just getting kind of his business sorted, and creating these like paint pigments like literally from nothing, like through natural means of alchemy, creating these beautiful colors and swashes and
Yes.
stuff. And now he's doing fantastically, and I'm super proud of Jeremy. He's totally deserves it. Such a cool dude. um
I remember that was actually my talk with Niche, and I mentioned something about he was creating some unique color,
mhm.
and he's talking about how it takes actually years to grow the plant. I can't remember what it is now. It's driving me
Probably
crazy.
some indigo
I think it was some kind of
situation.
indigo.
Yeah, I think I
Well,
remember that.
cool. Fascinating.
Yeah.
What is your Discord, Keats? I'm on Discord. I need to sub right now.
I haven't started it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're still talking. It'll be through We the Hallowed, so it'll be
Gotcha. I love
a
that.
Discord We the Hallowed. For back end, for anything. I'm trying to like, circumvent the like whole barrage of social media stuff. If I can just connect people with people in one place, that'd be easier. But
I lose track of it all myself, but that's
yeah.
the number one thing.
Yeah, I'm like terribly inconsistent with all of it.
You do pretty good though. So I need to ask again because now I'm actually typing it into the search bar. The alchemical what?
Arts, ARTS. Yeah.
Cool. Right on.
Matter Lake. Yeah.
Sub.
Oh, sounds amazing. Yeah, I'd look. Australia is like huge on my list. Something's always been calling me there too. In 2010 or 11, for some reason, an old Dakota Slim album like was doing really well in Sydney, Australia. I don't know if it was like a collection of friends that found it or what, but like I was selling a bunch of records in Australia.
Really?
Kind of out of nowhere. Yeah. And like it's happened in like Germany before, or like just other weird odd parts, and it always like makes me wonder, like, yeah, it's like tethered to something that that culture you know digs or whatever. But yeah, I'd love to
Fascinating.
check
You need to go out there and do a
that out.
Dakota Slim tour.
Yeah, what is even a tour anymore?
Right.
It's now live streams. Yeah.
Exactly. I was hearing someone, who was it last night, talk to a magician or a stage magician. I think it was, I don't know, some podcast. Anyway, they were just talking about how strange it is now because he's an old school dude and he has a show in Vegas, or did. And now he's talking about how strange it is to do it right out of your living room set, Magic. Stage magic.
Yeah. If I could figure out, and we tried this because in April we did the big Saturday sideshow, which was a bunch of us coming together and like playing a bunch of our own media and stuff.
Cool.
We went through so many like trials to try to figure out how to actually play together through Zoom, but there's always a delay and like you couldn't figure it out. So there's got to be something there for a streaming service that allows you to collaborate live without a latency. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that might be too like this thought might be too ahead of its time for it, because I think even the highest speed internet gives us like 0.8 milliseconds of latency or whatever. You know what I mean?
Man, that is something.
But yeah, but not having that real time, connection of playing, and music is so arithmetic, on a pattern and a rhythm, like you can't have latency.
Use whatever technology
Unless it
they
was
used
noise.
for Nixon to talk to the people on the moon.
What's that?
I said use whatever technology they used for Nixon to talk to the people on the moon.
Nixon talked to people on the moon? Oh,
At the
that's
White
right.
House.
You mean like Buzz Aldrin? Yeah.
Whatever. But no, it would be nice to have something that, and they should, right? Something that had no delay that you could jam with someone real time. That is huge.
It might be like a fiber optic thing, or forgive me for saying that might be a 5G thing.
Yeah, maybe a Neuralink thing.
5G.
That might get you strict too. Struck?
Probably. Yeah. I'm not worried about it. Honestly, this was so off the cuff and lovely, and it was like so cool to hang out with everybody, and I'm very thankful that everyone came out, listened to people just, bullshitting about deep or comedic stuff. So thank you everyone who's joined. I think Mary's in the bathroom, but we'll probably like call it here pretty soon.
Julio. It's been a treat, Keats. It's always fun hanging out with you, man. And it's
man. And
really
I have our chat scheduled for the week after this coming week. So
yes,
Yogi and I are talking Kododama on PRAGMAGICK, and some of you patrons actually saw the live chat. So
that's right, we did do it with a live chat.
Yeah, that was one of my experiments to like give something to the patrons that they could join and stuff. So
that answers a lot of questions, because I had this weird memory of us having done it live, but I knew that it hadn't been a good. Thanks.
Right.
That resolved a lot for me. To remember that you did it that way.
But I'm really excited. Kododama, my stuff with the Audiomancy works and the audio sigil, which it's my birthday at the end of the month, and my goal is to like have the audio sigil done, and then I'm focusing on the book. But Kododama like really sang to me when I needed it the most. So I always appreciated that chat. I'm really excited to share that chat because, sound, words, phonetics, all of it's a spell. And it's like a really beautiful, it's a really beautiful like vernacular, this Kododama, when it comes to any of that stuff. So excited to share it.
I'd love to talk about more of that kind of stuff with you too. I've done all kinds of research about phonetics and sounds and stuff like that. I just love it. It's such a cool topic, right?
It's the best. Mary, do you want to say anything before we go?
No, it's good timing. My phone's about to take a, sleep.
Take a poop.
Yeah. We officially worked through an entire battery life of an iPhone.
And I officially worked through everything I wanted to and didn't want to talk about on a live stream. So congrats, everybody.
Woo woo.
Well done.
We got to hang out with Grimsteak for a minute, and
he's the
I've
best.
worked through my voice by now too.
Yeah.
No, this was fun to be on the other side with you guys for once.
Mary, you're
so
the best.
I appreciate
it.
More. To me, this is the best part. Is I got to talk with Mary in a virtual way.
Yeah, I'm much more disgruntled now than just listening from like the glass door. I think it was like this sense of like, I want to be a part of it, but I don't.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? So now, like when you're in it, it's fun, and I understand a little
totally
bit better.
Fun, right?
So yeah.
Well, what we're gonna do something that's scheduled, and it's gonna be me and Mary, and we're gonna dissect some woo, and she's gonna bring me back down.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You guys would be fun. Both of you and the individual would be fun to anytime on the panel show. It'd be fun to have you on Who's the Woo, whatever too.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mary's the best.
Oh, you guys are so cool. Thanks, Spooky.
Thanks,
well,
now you're not going to get away with just being you, Keats. You're going to have a tag along.
Oh, I'm totally fine with that.
Bring it back to the Girl Scouts, the tag-alongs. Yeah.
By the way, I'm the tag-along. Like, it's me. I'm gonna lead us out. If Una's still around, I'm gonna play a demo of our collaboration from the audio sigil.
Sweet.
And stream some fun video with it. With that said, there'll probably be some junky quitting the stream stuff afterwards. But I love you. I think Jiggy's on now, according to Spooky. I may pop in over there. Maybe Mary will too. Maybe Yogi will too.
Yogi, maybe before we leave town, we could have a physical cup of coffee with you, a social distance cup of coffee.
Straight up, yeah.
That would be fun.
It would
that
be,
show will go through the roof. We'll go viral.
I mean, it would be ridiculous if we didn't
I
see
know.
each other in person. We're
Totally.
so close.
I agree.
All right. Well,
So
I love you
close,
guys.
so far.
And thanks for hanging out with us, Outcasts, under the bleachers during this pigskin game.
Let me know
Appreciate you all.
my cat is crawling up to weird places and doing weird things. He's being really. he's
Sounds
above the
like a
fridge.
cat.
Okay, anyway. Let me know who Jiggy is. And yeah, thank you so much for having me here.
I will. I'll send you over to Jiggy. We're gonna close out once
Get
again.
jiggy
This is
with it.
Una's
Na, na, na.
beautiful submission to the audio sigil, and I composed a little music to it. So, love you guys. Haunt on.
Error. Error.
Here's my mouse.
Technical error.
Mouse.
There we go.
Past lives. First vision, first sound without form, gasping fountain staining the ether, textures and flavors of foreign and domesticated interaction. Inside, that is always outside. Second life, immersed as the pigment global flecked layer of sea foam on a Turner, the hallways of the British Museum, and the senses capturing glimpses of all sorts of people walking and peering askance, outside stationed, inside, cold during closed hours. Third life, the red stitching of a young girl's pocket, sticky with her sweets and hard candy, loosened from pulling to place salted pennies and sequins. Fourth life, hardwood baseboards in a speakeasy dance hall on the coast with Pacific breezes drifting in, shoes stamping and hands clamping, swivels and other movements, plenty of liquids, brown ale, dry martinis, cosmos and gimlets, flowing into cracks, swishy and swaying women, lots of looking up skirts with sassy tassels and delightful exchanges. Fifth life, 1977 black ink and a middle school history textbook in the southeastern United States. Litany of presidents, colonial and post-colonial, wars, peace, in between grumpy old men, distracted youths, smudging fingers. Sixth life, the coursing sap within a mighty maple, feeding and nourishing the munificence with syrupy ooze of gracious spaces, collecting insects and timely debris that will eventually hang loosely around sterns and starboards.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, that was Una and me. We'll see you over at Jiggy's. I love you guys.
Getting jiggy with it. Na na na
Getting
na
jiggy
na
with
na na
it.
na 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 na.
Bye.